Jobs data just coming through here. Initial jobless claims on a week-over-week basis. Downside, 212,000 versus 220,000 expected on the week-over-week. Continuing claims, 1.89 million. That's a little bit higher than the 1.875 million expected there. We also got retail sales data for January, negative 0.8% print there, 0.3 positive expected. Import-export prices basically to the upside as well, 0.8 across the board versus negative expected there. That's there's a Philly Fed Business Index too, 7.2. That came in also to the upside, negative 0.5 retail sales. If you take out gas and automotive sales, that was a positive print expected on that one. We do have a ton of Fed speak coming through today as well, mostly into the afternoon. Waller, I believe, the first one coming up around 1 o'clock this afternoon, then more later in the day, as overall the market continues to hold on to key levels here. DWAC absolutely ripping right now. Looks like we finally have a date for when it will turn into DJT. Is the symbol that I saw. Anyways, but we'll talk about DWAC coming up here. Back to the positive side of things for both the S&P and the NASDAQ currently. It is Thursday, February 15th, 2024. Tradertv.live starts now. Yeah, market seeming to like, anyways, right now, a little bit of a pullback, but liking this number, it would appear 1.89 million on the continuing claims on the week-over-week basis versus 1.87 million expected there. 212, the actual initial jobless claims number downside, 212 versus 220 expected. Retail sales, a little bit mixed overall as far as what was expected, but yeah, everyone talking about this. DWAC up 26%. We have a date, Sharif. I feel like this is a long time coming, obviously. I mean, this thing's been on a tear ever since the start of the year, but had nothing to do with it finally de-SPACing.
Yeah, unbelievable. It feels like, you know, years ago that Sean had that trade and there was a lot of yelling on the floor and it was a good time. Yeah, there was obviously an investigation into this that obviously pushed back the de-SPACing date with the SEC. So we'll have to wait and see if this gets done or there are going to be any encumbrances on the way. But yeah, moving up nicely, 26.75% right now, Brendo.
Yeah, again, I don't have any confirmation on this, but it looks like it's going to be DJT will be the new symbol here, guys, when this gets done.
We're joking. It's like it was years ago when Sean was trading. It was years ago, Sharif.
I'm not sure what
it was. Literally, we were saying it's either 2 or 3 years ago from.
We'll have to look at the charts.
The DWAC fun day.
We'll have to look at the charts.
It was more DWAC than fun that day.
The thing is like we were just talking about this. They don't make money, right? Exactly. Like they don't. I'm not even sure what the download, daily active users or anything like that are.
If Twitter doesn't make money, how are they making money?
It's going to be a great, basically what we're getting at is this is going to be a great trading vehicle, but probably not a great investment. But we are not financial advisors. I can show you my portfolio, and I have tons of, well, not anymore, but tons of DWAC, yeah.
I'm loading up on some
and I'm on Coinbase 350, so hopefully that comes back. But no, just all kidding aside, yeah, it's going to be an interesting day to trade this name, up 26%. We'll have to see if we have to pay for shorts. ARM is back at 130 again. NVDA came in Monday, was like, get ready. Every single day, I feel like there's been an upgrade, and it may continue every single day from here on out as well. SMCI is up to just $930-something. That's pretty cool. So, you know, up 300% or whatever this year. That makes a lot of sense. So we'll wait for that. And then, you know, where's that $7 trillion that we're looking for new chat OpenAI investment into this space as well. So there's a lot happening here.
It's not Tesla. It's the SMCI. It's not even all year. It's like the middle of January. So it's not even a full month that it tripled up. Not even a full month. That is insane. And then Tesla moving after.
Yeah, that's nice. Up near 190.
Oh, there's an anecdote I wanted to share because.
But it wasn't Tesla going to Texas. Right?
You had it's a SpaceX. Oh, SpaceX is launching an intuitive rocket that'll land. I think it's launching today. It's going to land on the moon on the 22nd. Hopefully, it lands on the moon. But Fastly had a big move. Well, you know this because you were on the aftermarket show.
Yeah, right into
the market
support.
recap. So big move into support. However, this is just anecdotal because you know how some people screw up symbols? So Fastly is actually FSLY, where
Okay.
Fastenal
Oh,
is
FSTL or something?
FAST.
FAST, fast.
So at the like right at the close on Fastenal, where'd the wick go? Did I clean it up? Oh, there it is. There was like this.
Yeah.
Somebody dumped it like really late. There was like one order that went through at like $68 on the
Oh,
stock.
there it goes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's easier to see on like the 15-minute. Like one person probably did something stupid at the close on Fastly's earnings, and I don't wonder if next time you don't just sit there on like Fastenal. I don't know. It's probably not that much of a strategy. We remember when it was Twitter and there was an OTC ticker that had a very similar thing to
There
Twitter.
still is that TLSA.
And there's
that symbol as
TLSAs
well. You
that
could
happens
screw
every
that
now
up.
and then.
Yeah,
You'd be
Twitter was
surprised.
there was like TWTT or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Anyways, okay, Mogul comes out. I just want to look at everybody here. MGOL, MGO Global sees their revenue growth up 400%. So I just want to give that a little bit of a spike right there happening. So yeah, looks like Sharif's favorite kind of stock here. All these micro, float, runner, crazy names seem to be popping again. Wow, he really likes them. Seem to be popping off today. DWAC, yeah, more news coming. I think Brendan's probably got this one right.
So this is the actual release here that just came out that caused this pop. I was just saying to Sharif, it's like they went to ChatGPT and said, write this in the most confusing language possible. So Digital World expects to announce within 2 business days the date of the special meeting of its stockholders, where stockholders of the record date, yet to be announced, can vote on the approval of the adoption of the business combination.
Yeah. So in other words,
give everyone a second to just digest whatever the hell that means. So it seems like within 2 business days of a meeting, they're going to announce the potential date where this could actually close. So the meeting has not even happened yet. The vote has not even happened yet. But they're talking about within 2 business days of when that happens, it could actually close.
Well, when you've been waiting years, Brendo, these steps seem like big things. And look, the press release was not without shots at big tech. So they did take shots at big tech here, who they are obviously looking to compete with. He's saying, you know, moving forward, we aim to accelerate our work and build the free speech highway outside the stifling, stranglehold of big tech. So looking to get their company in the game, Brendo.
Yeah, just be, like this just happened right now, guys. Be very careful with this thing. I mean, $3 straight back downside. So I think people are kind of digesting the fact that it's not actually done yet. There's still going to be a vote. And then all they've said, from what I take from that, is that within 2 business days of that, we could learn when it could actually happen. So just be very careful here.
We try not to be political, but when you say all that, like the stifling, blah blah blah,
Stifling. Dun, dun,
isn't that exactly what Elon said he was doing with X? So it's kind of like that void is already being filled. So I don't know. It's hard to imagine like how much they could carve out to make it worth this gap. That said, I mean, a trade's a trade. Like I paid for locates on Funware because I'd rather. Like on a day like today, I wouldn't want to fight DWAC. I'm just being real with you. Like I don't think it makes a lot of sense. But if Funware, which is not nearly as strong and hasn't broken out at any levels, and DWAC's actually breaking out, if that gets into a resistance spot and I see a turn in DWAC, anyone that's been trading here knows the drill. Oh, wait a minute, I actually hit it. Okay, I went into the pay for shorts and I didn't actually process it. So I actually have to do that right now. But yeah, if this gets into the 40s, maybe even the 50s, I'd look for a curl here if I see weakness in DWAC. That's going to be my game plan because I don't want to be chasing DWAC. I feel like that's not really a done deal, and I don't want to take this thing breaking out highs, but I can use it as my futures to trade some Funware.
Okay, so I got into this MGOL, just really small, just to watch this thing. Because when I brought it to everybody there, it was at 20%. Then I flipped back over to it, it was at 60% or 40%. And then it was at over 60 cents. And then it was at 61, 62. So we're long at 58. So let's see what happens here with MGOL right now. I mean, looking at maybe a 50 break or something. Not in it very, like, I'd rather go long here and then see if we can pull back into like 45 before we really worry about it. But just trying to play around here with MGOL right now, long at 58. And I do have an offer up here. I was waiting at 67 there, and it touched 65. So we'll have to see if that's going to continue to be a little bit of a top right now on that name. And then just because Brendan mentioned it, let's go back and see if DWAC is continuing. Yeah, so there is the pullback into 53, bouncing off VWAP again. A lot of volume of 1.1 million shares, so definitely a tradable name once again here today. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of poison here today, so you're going to have to pick it properly.
All right, we're going to have Luis Barbado joining us in a few minutes from Barcelona to talk a little bit about some of these high-flying, wild names. But it's worth noting, here's the dollar this morning, 2 days in a row back downside. Yields back downside this morning as well. So the market's getting a little boost on that. Also, we'll get a little more data coming up next week on the inflation front as well. I was noticing yesterday. But overall, I mean, 2 days in a row, the market, I mean, we did get a bounce yesterday, but it wasn't anything significant overall.
Yeah, keeping my eye on yields, as you just mentioned, Brendo, the 2-year down 1 1/3, the 10-year almost down 1 1/2, but they bounced up. I mean, have a look at this 2-year chart over here on the left side. If we were down, depressed below 4% at 3.950, and now we just made a top yesterday at 4.6. So the 2-year really bouncing back here with expectations for rate cuts kicked down the road.
We'll get into this a little bit more coming up in the rundown after 9 o'clock. Make sure you stick around. But Apple downside here this morning, had a decent move after the close downside with the announcement that Berkshire selling some shares or trimming their position a little bit. Maybe got to a point where it was too much or too big of their, or too much of a percentage of their portfolio, so I had to trim a little bit.
It was him and Soros. They were both cutting their positions on Apple yesterday, and Berkshire also cutting some of its position in Paramount, as that has been a takeover target or a merger target. We know that it's been, they just made that new deal with Ryan Reynolds. There's other stuff in the works as well. We'll have to see how they do, but yeah, Warren cutting.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how tech responds to this today in general. Alphabet as well, not Dan Ives, Third Point Capital trimming a little bit of their Alphabet position. So, and this is all, we have to remember, these forms that were filed that came out after the close yesterday go back to the end of last year. So that was as of December 30th or the end of 2023 as well. So who knows what's happened in between then and now, guys.
Third Point, Dan Loeb. Selling all your Google? Okay, I'll take some on the dip eventually. Yeah. But Apple, pull up my trusty trade ideas. And look, it doesn't matter that Buffett sells a small position or Soros apparently. It's the fact that Sharif is just continuously driving this stock down so that it can't hold the 200-period moving average. And the
Sharif,
Apple,
what are you doing?
The Apple haters out there, look, as far as I'm concerned, you break the 200 on the daily, okay, give us a chance at the 170. That's what it seems like to me. But there was a last-ditch effort, like right at the close, for this to close. It closed just above the 200 period. Like it was underneath all afternoon, and then there was one little press in at the end of the day that got it above the 200 period, which is generally around 183. Like it's not exact. I mean, I could find it exactly on the chart, but it doesn't really matter. That's what I'm looking at for. I call it the over/under, meaning if you are underneath the 50 period on if you're underneath the 200 period, I should say, on that daily and under 183, I do not want to be fighting longs because I think you wait to 180. And if you're over, I don't want to be fighting any shorts, with the exception of 184 quarters a level and 186 to 186 change are two levels that I would play individually at those. But yeah, underneath the 200 period moving average, if it closes under there, it didn't yesterday, it was traded under there, but if it closes under there, that's pretty bearish. And if it closes the week under there, if it closes the week, sorry, not under there, but if it closes the week underneath 180, that's the 50 period on the weekly chart. That's worth keeping an eye on. That would be a major trend reversal for Apple. I think if that were to happen, that's where the dip buyers are probably going to start to come in. So sometimes you just get a little bit of a catalyst because of Warren. I'll be looking to short a pop into 184.25, and if that breaks 186. But I will not be trying to fight this thing. If it just bases out at 183 in a 50-cent range at the open, that's exactly the area that I won't trade it at all.
Okay, so I'm just writing the sticky note out right now about Google, and yeah, like it's basically what I was writing down is pretty simple. It's had a hard time going the last couple of days. That's basically it. It's just like we bounced off of 144. Obviously, we had a pretty big, down day followed by a nice recovery day yesterday. But even though that recovery day, it had a nice bump up at the end of the day, but we still didn't take this 146 area. So I was hoping that, again, I wrote down 146 is where we'd sort of be the point that we'd be looking to short. Obviously, it's now well under that one. So then I just look back to the level that we've been playing long off of 144. And right now we've broken through 144. So for me on Google, and this is what I'm writing on the sticky note as we speak, which will be out in 2 minutes. Now this is probably going to be the short level. So let's just wait to see the market. I'm also writing down like we've already said on the show here, that I feel like today's a pretty indecisive day. So you could see with these numbers that came out up and down, and then we have Fed speak coming and more economic data. Not like any crazy amount of earnings yesterday. Market seems to be a little bit weaker here. I don't know.
Excited about
I'm going to wait on. Yeah, let's just go down 4%. I mean,
yeah, I know it's not exactly.
Yeah, it's kind of like one of those things. So, anyways, let's wait to see. Let's wait to see. But Google, for sure, today is going to be a short, not a long end of the day.
I was just reading a note on Oatly, OTLY. Another one that reported downside here this morning. Not a lot of volume on this, but wow, this is $1.20. Oatly shares sour after wider Q4 loss.
I have nothing to say, Brendo, but I'm laughing at your the way you set that up. Yeah, it looks like they missed here big on 50 cents per share loss. Revenue was also down year over year, but it was a beat actually of what the estimate was looking for, about a 4.6% beat. Full year revenue, they're looking at revenue growth of between 5 to 10%. The street was looking for 6.6, so somewhere in the middle there. We'll have to see how they do.
If you go to a coffee shop and you order a milk-based coffee drink that is not dairy, at least around here, a lot of these coffee shops are using Oatly now. So, yeah, I mean, I'm surprised it's still $1.20. More importantly, NVDA, semiconductors in general, a long list once again today of analyst moves again to the upside for semiconductors, still showing all kinds of strength.
Can I show this chart again?
Please.
I think it's becoming like a daily routine. This is SMCI, guys. Yeah. Now just leave that there. Brendo, it broke 900 overnight like it didn't even matter. On our way to 1,000.
Crazy. Still watching DWAC here as well, guys, off 56.
So we're just gonna gloss over Oatly, the greatest company in come on.
Oatly is so good.
Show these stocks some love. It's down 12%. It might do decent volume today. It'll get over a few million shares. But it's where it bounced. Like it had supported $1. It bounced at 102 pre-market. I was like, why am I looking at SoundHound? Yeah, whatever. But if it gets down to $1, that's an SSR bounce level. It'll be short sell restricted. If it retests the dollar even, that's like the most natural spot for a relief rally. Obviously, no one cares about Oatly. I shouldn't say that. Is it Jessica Alba?
I believe so, yeah.
Jessica Alba cares about Oatly, and maybe some other people do as well.
Brendan does, we just heard.
Yeah, but not the stock.
Oh, not the stock, okay.
She founded the company. I don't know if she founded it. She was a spokesperson, whatever. She probably owns shares. They're not worth anything now. Is it Oprah? I would swear Jessica Alba was involved. Oh, okay. Jessica Alba's the cleaning stuff, and Oprah is Oatly. Anyways, $1 there. SMCI, if you want to stand in front of this freight train, I would say be my guest, but I don't really think that. I just feel as if this is going to. You can't really predict when something it's squeezing is going to pull back. Like it's not an exact science. If somebody could, like if I knew where SMCI was going to turn, then I could just retire because it's going to make a one-day pullback over $100 at some point. There's going to be an over $100 move. It could be 150, it could be 200 bucks. My guess would be a weakness on NVIDIA earnings could be the case. But you have a day where SoundHound's a double up because NVIDIA's invested in them. So you're getting more froth up here. Maybe you test that 1,000 level, and that could be it today on SMCI. I just feel if you're watching SMCI and you want to maybe play something and you want to look for a reversal, then just go to like sympathy type names. Just go to other things that are making highs in the space where it might be safer to drop some shorts. I've been going to Micron because it's relatively weak. I think that can be in play. We all know about NVIDIA and AMD. Like NVIDIA's got the same top here in front of its earnings, like a 745-ish. I mean, it's like 43, but let's imagine a scenario where SMCI gets to 1,000 and this hasn't broken out. SMCI fails 1,000, NVIDIA is still underneath like 750. Like that might be a short where you don't have to hold it $50 against you to prove that you're right. So SMCI, it's a runaway freight train. It's 11% short. It is just a different beast. And you've got to treat it as such. And those that are long, and congratulations to them. It's weird. I don't know a single, oh, it's got SoFi. I don't know a single person that owns that stock. I know I've heard some people in our chat, but I don't know anybody personally.
Where's the market going down?
That's in that way. Yeah, the market, see, of course the market's going down. I just got into SoFi. I was in SoFi. Remember SoFi 850? And I was joking that in the afternoon show, it's like, yeah, well, you always gap above those levels. You don't actually get the breakout. It gapped above the level, and it's holding 850. But I scalped it once. I'll probably scalp it again. I should see this after the open. I like it after the open on better volume, but I'm in it now. I'm not going to give it much past this 50 level, I don't think. It doesn't make any sense. This market's coming in.
All right, we have, I don't know, I don't know what's on the, I guess the rundown will have all this stuff. You just kind of went on there about the semis, but I have the same opinion here, man. By the way, I'm not going to be patient zero, just let everybody know that. I think the guy to my right probably is. Okay, so Intel and AMD going to be here today for shorts. So, and ARM, by the way, as well. Sticky note is now out. Go find it, and hopefully it'll be good for you. But no, I just think like right here, this is a short, right? So it's a short. If we get to 180, it's a short. I'm not going to try to be too fancy about this. Let's just short any kind of pops. We're getting a huge pop in the space again today. We've called NVIDIA upgrades all week. There's another one today. So you're just going to have to wait to have this all settled down, man. We've been waiting for the 21st. That will be the day of reckoning for all of these stocks. And then we'll just find out what happens, right? So NVIDIA next week, a week today, we'll know because they'll have reported on next Wednesday. So we'll wait to see what happens here.
Quickly show you something because it was this happened on AMD. So I only caught this, but this was late in the move. So this morning, when AMD was up at 179 and gapping higher, there was a seller at 179 for 20,000 shares, a seller at 129.10 for 20,000 shares. When it went down, they walked it down for 25,000 at 178.50.
What is it at?
Then 178 even. Then they put the order to 177.50 without getting any fills. When it got to 77.50 on the offer, they took the entire thing.
Yeah, as I said, because they're not there now.
And they've been, and then they reloaded. So it's like someone was walking it down until
what time
they got
did you take that?
This would have been like.
Because it's at the same level right now, exactly.
This would have been 720 maybe.
Right. So
715, 720, somewhere around there. So somebody was selling AMD up in the 179. I have 181 marked off, and I don't even remember why, but I think you're dead on that. That top there makes a lot of sense. Oh, I don't know why. But this 180 level, I feel like that's it. I think until that level, you want to be short. But if it breaks out the top at 180, just accept that it might be gone. But what's weird about that is if you're a big seller, why the heck would you just post those? Why wouldn't you use?
Well,
why
I
wouldn't
guess
you use like
market, I don't know.
You know, like a reserve order or something? Like be more sophisticated than that. But it's pre-market. I just found it interesting because you were mentioning that short that somebody was already selling up there.
Yeah, it's a good level there. All right, I do not think we are getting Luis Barbado, but let's go over to the screen with Adara.
Lots of big names on the upgrade side today. Coinbase kicking it off here. JP Morgan Chase upgrading this one ahead of its earnings tonight after market close. NVIDIA getting its fourth price target increase in 4 days here. This one from Piper Sandler. Supermicro getting an upgrade here from BofA Securities. Price target of $1,040, so big move here for that one. Skechers also here getting an upgrade from Evercore ISI. For downgrades, Twilio leading the way, reported earnings yesterday after closed very much to the downside. Snowflake getting a downgrade but price target increase from HSBC Securities. Comcast getting a downgrade from Redbird Atlantic, and last but not least, United States Steel getting a downgrade from Morgan Stanley, guys.
How you gonna downgrade Snowflake? Boo.
About to snowflake around here, apparently.
Yeah, we're getting, I don't know, what did Randy say,
He said 2 to 4 centimeters an hour, but I thought we were supposed to get 5 to 10 in total. This could be the second time I've shoveled all year. Could be. Could be.
You know what there's a shortage of?
Kids shoveling because there's no need?
No, it's like, that's actually true. There's always in my neighborhood has a Facebook group, and there's usually, like, you can get, like, somebody has a teenage son or daughter that'll shovel driveway, like rake leaves, like that kind of thing. Like,
Yeah.
I do most of it myself, but sometimes I just don't want to shovel. And there's been less of that. I found, like, when I was a kid, like, that was the jam. Like, when I was young, you wanted to be the first kid out on a snowfall so I can get like 3 or 4 done and collect that cash, because all the other kids wanted to do it too.
The problem is money doesn't mean anything to kids anymore because they're so spoiled. We give them absolutely everything. Like, if I told my kid, here's $10 to go shovel the driveway, he'll be like, nah.
I'm like,
but if someone offered me like $3 when I was like 12 years old, I'd be like running around. I'd be like, $3? I don't give this an hour.
I got 5.
Right, exactly.
$3 only?
I'm just making that up.
You gotta
I
ask
don't know.
for more,
I'm trying
Sean.
to go back with inflation.
You gotta ask for more than
figuring out what was a dollar worth 30 years ago. But no, anyways, I feel like that is the problem, and anybody that has kids or knows of teenage kids, et cetera, would know that I don't think money is a big thing anymore. I mean, sometimes the government just hands out money, apparently. So.
Well, that's exactly
19 degrees Celsius
what else we got?
in KC. You know what? The thing is that this is how messed up the weather is. It was plus 15 Celsius here on Saturday and Sunday of this last weekend.
Great.
It was amazing weather. It was fantastic.
Awesome.
It was like, let's go to a patio. And then now yesterday it was minus 10 or 12 or something. And
Canada.
right now it's minus 5.
Suffice to say,
Celsius, of course.
The only thing I was going to say about Snowflake is it's got a bit of a triple top forming here. So you want to say downgrade, fair enough. If the market holds higher, we should probably be looking for any continuation on the stock. If it holds above 238 for any period of time, this could easily see 250, 52-week highs here. It has to break it. And it's not the kind of stock that I would take a breakout on. It's the kind of stock that if it trends after a break, you get in. It's not NVIDIA. If you take a break on Snowflake and it half fails, you're at $1.50. If it totally fails, you're probably at $2.50. So you got to give up the full 1% usually on a stock like this.
The first 30 minutes of the show brought to you by Hedgeye. Don't forget, Trader TV viewers get 66% off Hedgeye's real-time alerts. There's also a 100% money-back guarantee, so why not? Go to hedgeye.com/TTV today. A few other things to make note of here before we get into the rundown. I was just seeing that NNOX popping up once again, Roma as well popping up again. Yeah, shout out to Luis. We'll try and connect with him maybe another day from sunny Barcelona, Spain as well. I bet you it's more than 20 degrees Celsius there today.
Probably on that rock beach that they have there in Barcelona. No, kidding aside, shout out to Luis. So many small cappers to watch. Like I tell Adara all the time, these small cappers come in waves, guys. So it was a holo that started it last week, and then you precipitated many other triple-digit gainers. We've got 3 above $1 that are in triple-digit territory today. Tread carefully with these, obviously, because they are low float and dangerous.
Another one back to the upside today. Tesla in pretty good shape here so far this morning, 0.8% after that bounce back yesterday. I mean, we're still chopping around in this range overall. Nothing significant as far as reason why so far this morning, other than this market move, but one to watch again today.
Yeah, definitely. We'll keep an eye on that. Tesla's been an absolute monster. Elon obviously in the headlines again because this time he's moving SpaceX from Delaware to Texas. He's also looking at changing the location of the registration for Neuralink from Delaware to Nevada. So he is making good on his promise, but he is still appealing that decision for his $52 or $54 billion. We'll have to see how that appeal goes, Brendo.
There was that note after the close yesterday, and this move happened after the close yesterday. SEC filing revealing 20.5% stake for Elon Musk as of the end of the year last year. Remember, he came out and saying he wants 25% to go, quote unquote, all in on Grok, their AI for Tesla. So I think 20.5% is actually higher than most people probably thought at this point after selling so much for the Twitter acquisition. But nice pop, at least after the close yesterday on that.
Yeah, it's very interesting here because we see what Sam Altman is doing simultaneously. Sam Altman's kind of got that poster boy look for AI. He's trying to raise $7 trillion from several different sources. He's in the Middle East, he's in China, he's in the United States and North America trying to raise money. So we'll have to wait and see because Sam Altman's got the jump here, Brendo.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few in the background as well that are starting to come up. We were talking about that Perplexity AI is another one. So once Elon throws his hat in the ring, I'm sure that'll be a game changer as well. 190 holding right now for Tesla. Let's get a look at the overall market here. We're back to basically flat after that employment data at 8:30 provided a bit of a boost.
Yeah, 50.18, guys. That is where we closed off yesterday. So it was a very short-lived dip below 5,000. We reclaim it with vigorous yesterday. Let's see today what we're going to do. 50.11 is the low. 50.31 is the overnight high. Let's say that 50.50 is going to be that resistance level. If we're able to break above the overnight high, that takes us back to trading on the 11th.
If you have not done so, I have an absolutely free resource for you. Just go to watchlist.tradertv.live or scan that QR code, enter your email address, and then that just shows up every single morning in your inbox, has everything you need to know on it every day. In the pre-market, semiconductors, top of the list again this morning, as they should be, as we just, we're touching on a little bit there. The strength just absolutely monstrous in all of these. There's a long, long list again of analyst moves, mostly to the upside, and talking positively on the AI front still for semiconductors right across the board. I mean, NVDA leading the way here, back to 740 as of yesterday.
February 21st, guys, that's when NVIDIA reports. Everyone will be watching. It'll be after the bell. She'll make sure to check that out with Sean on the Markets Recap Show. So NVIDIA catching an upgrade today. SMCI also catching an upgrade. Chips are going to be in focus. Let's see what they do.
Yeah, ARM green again here to start things off, 1.2%. Wild one over the past few days.
We should do what we should do on that because it's was it next week Wednesday, right?
Yeah, the 21st.
So at some point on Wednesday, what we should do is we should do like an inner pool, or maybe we have to do it at the close. Like just what will be the opening price of NVIDIA on Thursday?
Yeah, for sure.
After earnings, and then we'll just I don't know if you do it like Price is Right style, or like within whatever. But it would just be fun to do because I feel like that's like everyone's going to be. Expecting some fireworks, but we're going to get fireworks going into it anyways. The semis are ridiculous. SMCI is going apparently to the moon before Lunar gets there.
It's going to.
Oh, the name of the company, Intuitive Machines, it's actually LUNR, the one that's launching off the SpaceX rocket. So this is a ridiculous rocket ship. Like as I said, I'm not going to be trying to short this, but if it gets to 1,000 and turns, I'm trying to short something in the chip space. And whether it's NVIDIA, AMD, or Micron, it's going to be one of those three. So if the $1,000 level comes in on SMCI, I think it's a reasonable place to expect a possible turn, maybe the 950. At this point, you're just grasping at straws because it's an absolute rocket ship into NVIDIA earnings. I still think NVIDIA is going to have a ridiculously hard time satisfying everybody, and that could be a bit of a market turn there, and I would expect SMCI would fall into that as well. For NVIDIA today, you can see the top that it's got. It's once, twice. It'll be 3 times today if it tries to take out 43. That sets 45 as your top for a break. The last 2 days it's been for me the Intel long because it's been steady Eddie. So it made the bottom at 43, so it was long off 43. Then the higher lows yesterday in a trend up held those highs. First dip back in a previous high, that's about the 44 to 44 quarter. And even then, even if it broke that, I'd look to 43.5. So I want to be dip buying that. And Micron, the last 2 days, Micron's been a dog at 83. So I think you just sell 83s on Micron. Randy. Yes.
Holla.
We need this.
One of my favorite moments of the day.
Randy, the coffee, we need it.
Oh, Randy just came at the right time, actually, my guy. All right, you're going to why don't you take the mic up here?
Yeah.
You're going to the Toronto Auto Show, I heard, this weekend.
I think it's always on.
Yeah, and you are.
Yeah.
and you're potentially going to be taking some vids there, and you're most excited maybe for the Cybertruck?
Well, we haven't had a good auto show in years, COVID and all the rest of it. So yeah, Cybertruck's in town, Tesla, most of the manufacturers to be in town. Should be a good show this year. Lots of new product, some interesting stuff. So yeah, we'll shoot some video, shoot some footage, see what's going on.
The Lucid Air, I think this is a reduction here. The Lucid Air just came out with new pricing just now, 1 minute ago. 70,000 now for the Lucid Air Pure. The Air Touring, 78,000. The Grand Touring, 110. I feel like that's a little bit lower than it was. I haven't really read the story yet. And then it's coming with maintenance packages, two years, this and that, blah, blah, blah. So it looks like Lucid might be getting into a little more aggressive pricing as well, which is nice to see because
they need to compete.
They need to compete. So that's a story right there.
Yeah, so we'll have some updates next week about the show. Should be fun.
Oh, you wanted to look at the Taycan? Was that what it was there?
The new Porsche Macan is going to be there.
Okay, good,
the electric
nice.
version. So it's pre-production, but it's coming. Lots of new product. So it's good to see some new stuff rolling out from the manufacturers.
So
it's been a while.
Saturday you're there.
Saturday I'm there.
All right. Well, if you're there as well, maybe you'll see Randy walking around. There we go. All right. Thank you, Randy.
Thanks, Randy. On the drive, you can listen to the podcast.
Oh, wait a minute. There's a super chat here to a new member. Please thank Randy for all he does. He came, one of our guys, Mr. Westermeyer, came here on his day off, but you weren't here. So he wants to say thank you to that, Randy. So, all right, Randy with the thumbs up. All right, let's go back. What were we talking about there? Oh, semis. So, yeah, look, I've on the sticky note today, you can go find it at Trader TV, Sean. I've already written down this 180 level up here for AMD. I mean, I don't, the market's starting to head to the downside right now. We've been bearish pretty much. I mean, we were bearish, really the last 3 days. And now we're going to see if the market does want to finally continue this push, man. We're underneath VWAP. We're underneath the 50 period. We're starting to go lower. I feel like AMD is a short for sure, down much more than the market, pretty aggressively right there. And then I'm just going to have to put my money where my mouth is and probably sell some NVIDIA today up at these levels. I'm really impressed with this move. I know it's ridiculous to most likely get out of all of this stuff, but I'm thinking sell NVIDIA, go into SMH or go into something else. But again, SMH will fall. It's just if NVIDIA does fall that 20% or something like that after earnings, SMH obviously would probably only fall 10% or whatever. I don't know. I have to figure out the weighting over there. But anyways, I feel like this is getting pretty top heavy, obviously as well. And then the other name, but I'm not. There's upgrades every day. These analysts are supposed to be doing work. So if they're upgrading the stock, they're obviously seeing something. But $45 on Intel again. Let's just pick on the week. And I mean, Intel seems to be, I know Neil was mentioning Micron as well, but we're still well under the 50 period. There's not too many semis that look like this right now. So I feel like until we really break above this 46, we want to stay short, and the short party starts at 45 for me. So we'll wait to see that. Wow, DraftKings, I got out of a little bit of DraftKings. Wow. So I mean, people saying that that's mooning to 52-week highs. They did make a deal. There was a deal with Barstool. Yeah, $44.
And Penn missed badly on earnings today.
So why would DraftKings be up?
Because they're better?
No, but missing. No, I would just think missing might have been weaker demand.
Yeah,
but that would make sense.
Penn missed on everything.
Right, if there was a story that maybe they've lost customers to a DraftKings. I guess DraftKings is bigger than FanDuel. I don't know. What about you guys in the States? I feel like here in Canada, FanDuel
is bigger.
I feel like it's bigger, but
yeah.
I don't know. Let us know what you guys think. I mean, every time I'm watching U.S. commercials, I feel like there's more DraftKings. I don't even know if FanDuel is.
Here, we just see it's a ton.
FanDuel has that ADR, right? They're owned by the British company.
Shoot. They just did an IPO.
Yeah.
I
forget the name. Anyways, that's DraftKings. Good point out right there. All right. Yeah, we had this on the show yesterday where I thought that it hit about Warren Buffett selling some of Apple. First of all, the guy's 96 or 98 years old. The quarterly dividend that he gets from Apple is $240 million, something like that. And he holds over 900 million shares. And I think they sold 10 million, something like that. It's not a huge sell.
1%.
And I would not be worried at all about this next story, but let's go hear about it.
Exactly what you just said.
Yeah.
10 million on the nose here for Warren trimming, quote unquote, trimming his Apple position. 13F comes out after the close yesterday. Yeah, the paltry 240 goes down to 217 million.
Oh my God.
In dividend payments to still come, even with the cutbacks, 156.75 billion at the end of the quarter worth. So, yeah, it does explain. Sharif and I were just talking about it. It does explain, why this has not gone as some of the other tech names have with a Warren-sized sell program above.
But we also continue to reel from weaker consumer spending. We saw the retail sales come in today below expectations, Brendo, and credit card debt being at all-time highs. So obviously Apple, consumer product company here, even though they have a service side, we'll have to see how they do. I'm investing in Apple in my personal account. I believe in the long-term picture, especially with the Vision Pro. I think it brings an entirely new type of computing to market, so I'll be investing there. But with respect to Uncle Warren here, he's still holding, guys, 905 million shares of Apple.
Fine. Chevron added, so he added 15.9 million of CVX. Bank of America was unchanged. Some of the other ones as well. Oxy, 19.5 million. To the upside as well. So buying more energy, it looks like, trimming some of the stuff that's working well.
Yeah, he shaves the midnight. I don't know. Look, it's 1% is nothing. I mean, come on. It doesn't really matter. What matters is that you potentially, as we said, you're breaking the 200 period on the daily. So from a technical standpoint, like it's lower highs all the way through on the daily chart into a 180 support. So I mean, I think 180 was where we bounced last time, and pretty sure most people that traded this stock were looking for the long off that level. I don't see a particular reason not to at least try for that today if we get another drop of like $3 here. But yeah, I want a short 184 quarter. We mentioned this already, and then 186 quarter. Those are the big levels up. So in here, and then up in there to yesterday's highs, if we're able to get it. I do not want to diddle around at this 183 area because that is that 200 period. I feel like you could just be going back and forth off the 183 for the opening range, and I don't want to be messing with that. So either it gets to 180 for a long, or I'm shorting the 184 quarter. If that fails, I'd wait a couple bucks till it got to 186.
Okay, so the only thing that this story tells me is that every single person should be tuning in to the market recap show. Because that's why I knew the story, obviously, because we had the story when it dropped. So we were watching we were there on the show, it was dropping down it went into 182, and then you had a nice little bump up. The other reason why you should be watching the market recap show is because we also had this play, where we went over to Tesla when this was happening, and we singled out the 195 level. And I know, because I was looking at the chat, some traders either got out or shorted into that pop up there on that story. So again, all these things are happening, and then you come back the next day, and honestly, Apple, okay. I'm not worried about these prices right here. The only level to do anything at for me on Apple is 180. I think it's a buy until we break it. I like the level. The thing about Apple is, it goes down and then people miss it and then they get really excited and then they bump it back up into that same level again. Then it comes back. Like, we've been doing sort of this dance, even if you go all the way back to like November, where that's kind of where we are right now. This has been a very, very disappointing stock for the last 4 months. I mean, think about all those other charts that we keep looking at. Microsoft's and Meta's and the semis and all that. And then you go back and you say, Apple's at the same level today that it was at in November. So I'm not super excited about the name, but if China gets its act together, Apple's a rocket ship, and then AI is gonna be amazing for Apple. I don't have any problems with any of this stuff. Like, I'm almost done buying stocks. I'm just gonna hold all the stocks that I have, and then on any market dips, I'm just gonna buy ETFs and stuff like that because, like, I don't know when to get out of Apple.
I think
whatever. Like,
you're getting your exposure to
Apple
Apple.
Kind of is an ETF anyway.
Yeah, well, your exposure to Apple, just buy the Qs, and then I don't know. I'm geared up to do that because that's what I was buying last year was just dollar cost averaging the Qs because I owned the SPY before and now I like the Qs a little bit better. So on dips, I'm buying Qs. But there are some names out there like maybe there's not a bunch of Mag 7 names because if you already have too much of them, it's like or enough of them, who cares? But like I don't own enough of Pan W. I want to buy that on dips. So there's stocks out there that I think. Individually, I still do like, but out of the Mag 7, you just buy the darn Qs on the dips and dollar cost on the way down is I think.
I just want to like, do you maybe get out of Apple and then just put it all into something like because you're not outperforming the NASDAQ. Nobody's outperforming the NASDAQ.
No, my rule of thumb is when I sell an individual stock that is a decent weight in an ETF or an index, that money goes right into that other thing. If I sell a pharma name, it goes right into that ETF. If I sell a semi name, it either goes into another semi name or it goes into SMH. If I sell like an Apple, it goes right into the Qs. That's my personal because I want the money to work. When I sold Disney, I put it right into Netflix because I don't want the money on the side unless I have a reason for the money to be on the sidelines in my long term. I don't want it to be. I want it to go right back into the market so that because look, man, I'm not that old. I'm not going to need that for decades, so it should just stay in the market.
Yeah, Neil is a lot younger than he looks, guys.
I mean, not really. But thank you. That's very nice of you to say.
We, however, are not.
Nope.
No. Much older than we feel as well. Or the other way around, I don't know. Here's Bitcoin, 52,500 coming into play this morning. This March higher continues, Fabian. 49,000, I guess, was that prior high. It gets taken out and hasn't looked back since. Coinbase, JP Morgan with a nice note on coin this morning. Going to 80 bucks on the price target. This thing has obviously been way higher than that. But JP Morgan to be positive on a crypto equity is a positive in itself.
Did our friend Jamie Dimon sign off on this upgrade? Very interesting. No, in all seriousness, guys, upgrading from underweight to neutral, as Brendo mentioned, with a price target of 80 bucks. Analyst Kenneth Worthington had been concerned that the market enthusiasm for crypto would deflate after the launch of the Bitcoin ETFs last January. However, what was initially, he says, a sell the news event with the launch of the spot ETFs has now turned into meaningful Bitcoin price appreciation, Brendo.
There you go.
Comment.
Where's the trade here, guys, for crypto stocks today?
I think we got there's a few because Coinbase, Mara, just in terms of BTC, it bounced a couple of times after finding resistance in front of 52,000. Like this morning, you found support at 52,000. So if you're looking at that, it's worth watching that triple bottom. And when I see that triple bottom in there, it just tells me go back to Mara and look to buy the dips. Mara was not explosive yesterday. Mara was a patient person's game because we had an inside day, 28 to 29.7. So you had to be waiting for the absolute bottom. But I want to turn that around and say, if you're dipping into 52 and holding it, then Mara back into previous close, and if not the 29, 29, 20 area, like that's where I want to be buying the dip. If it holds out here above the high, then I think looking at the 30 level as well. But as long as you're above 52,000, I'm looking long. We talked about the level on the daily here. Whoops, why is that CR? There we go, NASDAQ. We talked about the $32 level up here. If it breaks it, great. Put an asterisk next to that or an exclamation mark. But going into that level, I want to be long. As long as 52,000 holds, buying the dip in Mara, previous close, previous highs, those are the levels I like to look at for the dip buy.
Okay, so Coinbase is going to be reporting tonight after hours, right? And so, all right, well, it looks like it's faded out here a little bit. Yeah, okay. Wow, what happened to Coinbase? All right. When I wrote the sticky note, it was up here in and around 71, 72, and I just looked at this and said, you know what? Let's just try to short this 175. I mean, it kind of came up into those levels and danced around there a little bit. I mean, now Bitcoin's pulling back a little bit down here to 52.1. Was that 52.5, 52.6? So this very, very, very sensitive right now to the price of BTC. Up another 5% goes Coinbase. It's made the complete almost completed the move all the way back. It's not the right time to make a big position in Coinbase ahead of earnings, but I don't really know what they're going to say. I mean, I feel like there was a lot of inflow into these ETFs, and if a lot of the ETFs are using Coinbase to go then and buy Bitcoin, which is what's starting this move higher. Like when you get an IBIT or GBTC, or like this has done 400,000 shares. This never existed 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, right? And then that's what we talked about with the story. The issue of these 13 ETFs have created more inflow into Bitcoin. So the point is that if they're all going to be using Coinbase to go ahead and offset these inflows and purchase and then sit on Coinbase, well then maybe we do get a little bit of a revenue bump here. And I don't know if that's enough. I don't know if the commercial side of things, or sorry, our side, the investor side, might be weaker, because instead of me depositing money into Coinbase now to buy Bitcoin, I myself can do it straight through GBTC or ARKB or any of these ETFs. So I wonder if Coinbase loses my money, but then gains the institution money, but then the institution money, they're not going to be making as much VIG on it because they always rip off the little guy. So let's just wait to see what happens today.
I just like that you said VIG.
Yeah, Mr. Mendoza, like yesterday we were 4 for 4, and today you want more big bangers? I mean, yeah, we'll see what happens. But like, what are we, Michael Jackson over here? I mean, we'll try to give a lot of hits, okay? But we only have a few albums coming through right now. But we'll see. The sticky notes out there. If you're looking for trade ideas, they're all over the place. We got watch list. We got Neil's post. We've got the sticky note. It's all about everything. So go get it immediately and find the best stocks to trade.
One notable earnings name, Cisco, downside here so far this morning. It is trying to recover, but they issued Q3 and full year adjusted EPS and sales guidance below estimates. So we were saying yesterday it's becoming a bit of a trend on the guidance side of things. Here's another one that's suffering a little today, 4% as a result.
I mean, well, when they reported for their fiscal Q1, they beat on the top and bottom lines. However, it came below last year's earnings and last year's profits. So with respect to net income fell. Fabian, if I can go to my screen, 2.63 billion from 2.77 last year. Also, revenue fell as well, about 6% year over year. So a bit of a tough look for them. And with respect to your guide, Brendo, yeah, they guided down. Also, guys, I want to mention today on the How to Trade show, we are going to be doing risk management and position sizing. Adair and I, make sure to check that out at 11 o'clock.
Yeah, it's been a great week. Check that out coming up this morning at 11 o'clock. As Sharif mentioned, $48 was the high end of the resistance after the close yesterday, but still pretty ugly here for Cisco, guys.
So the good news for Cisco, well, okay, you guys probably heard of the report just now, but the good news for Cisco is the last time it did this, it was worse, and you've held on to basically the same higher low after the fact. So 47, it opened at 47 after its last Wadunk in January, and then after that based out at 47.5, and those are the two levels that you're rocking with this morning. 47 aftermarket, 47.5 was a bit of a level in the pre-market. So that's the only place I would look. If it doesn't bounce off of one of those two on earnings, like on an earnings play, either it gives to me the move into the only level that's interesting and then shows a base there or a top there, or I don't trade it. And for the short, that would be that's like the previous low. So if it gets into 49, like that's it. I want to play the big levels, and if it trades in the middle, then I don't want to trade it at all. There's plenty to look at here. I'm already in SoFi. We like chip names. We got MAR that we're going to be playing today with any luck, and now DWAC and Funware as well. You don't have to trade Cisco unless it's perfect.
No, and again, we did have this on the market recap show last night. We looked at Cisco, and we were just talking about some different levels of support, and it's right here, right now. So again, you get the dip buy opportunities. Yesterday, again, if you were watching, you could have got, we could have got long into here off the report, but that's risky. We never want to sit there and buy stock once the report is completely dropped. But now that it has, you can see that this could be a good level down here at 47, 47.50. For me, it's the same story when we have earnings plays, right? Like right now today, unfortunately, we have all these wicks. I'm going to have to do something about them. But what we're going to wait for today on Cisco is, let me call up another chart here. Just wait 1 second for me. And we'll just be patient. So this is more like what it looks like right now. So you can see we're really starting to trend up on it. We bounced off that 47.50. Let's wait to see if it can hold VWAP. Right now it's at 48.12. So that'll be something that we look at once the market starts to open up. Will it hold VWAP? That's the key thing whenever there's earnings. And then you could get, this is a 5-minute chart, so I don't use the 50 or the 200 or anything like that. But we'll also wait to see if it holds the 200 right here on the 1-minute chart. So that's what we'll look at for earnings plays. So we'll look at 1-minute chart 200 and then VWAP. But VWAP should be specific, should be the same on no matter what your timeline is right there if it starts at the beginning of the day. So if you have an anchored VWAP, obviously you'll be anchoring that yourself. So anyways, I like Cisco down here. Let's just see if it can be in and around $47. Cisco did really, really well at the halftime show there. That was really good, his performance. Oh no, wait a second, was Usher? I feel like when you see those guys, I mean, Usher's obviously well more celebrated, but that would have been cool.
Usher didn't have a song bigger than, or maybe
Thong Song?
maybe yeah was bigger than Thong Song. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel that Usher gets that worldwide. You know what I
True.
mean? Like,
But if you were ever been in Miami when it doesn't matter. No one knows Cisco, so I'm not going to wax poetic about it.
I think that halftime show was okay. I don't know. I mean, especially for our generation, there's a lot of songs that we.
I thought 2 years.
I mean, there's
ago,
always been better.
2 years ago was better. It was
Everybody
okay,
goes
yeah.
back to like how good Prince was.
I thought Prince was ridiculous.
Yeah, some of like the really classic ones, and then I liked the Drake and the Eminem and Dr. Dre and Snoop. That was pretty good.
That was
obviously.
legit.
But anyways, yeah.
Twilio?
Usher performance was no Michael Jackson. Yeah.
Well, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
He's not.
Yeah,
he's
that's
not one
true.
of those
That's
legends.
very, very true. Okay, so there goes Cisco right now, just making a nice move down into $48. But quickly, one more story is Twilio. Let's just show the imbalance locator here. Rivian getting kicked right now. I don't know if there's a story there. 2 million shares just went down a couple pennies, 20 cents or so. Downside there. Cart bad from yesterday. There's IBIT again. We keep on looking at IBIT, right? That's the Bitcoin ETF there with a buy. Other than that, oh, here we go. We'll go to the next story. It's Twilio right now with a 160,000 share market on open sell about to hit. So let's go find out all about Twilio.
Yeah, just noting back to the downside here. Market overall back to the downside, trying to go red once again. Here's Twilio at session lows coming off their earnings report as well. That misses on, hey, guess what? The guidance as well.
Yeah, they're blaming continued higher interest rates. Brendo's saying that companies are continuing to pull back on cloud spending and because of the interest rate environment, but they did beat on their last earnings report. But as you said, the guide, not so good.
User is pretty good, though. 305,000 in the quarter versus 290 at the end of the prior year's same quarter. So year over year, nice uptick on the user side of things, guys, for Twilio.
Yeah, I mean, down 12%, it will be short sell restricted at the open, barring a miracle. So if you look at the daily chart here, it's pretty clear, like $61. I'm just looking at the obvious levels where it could bounce and would find potential support for an SR bounce. And then 62, which it's already giving you indications of bouncing off of. So yeah, 62 already got, well, 62 half got hit. If it tries to bounce off one of those two levels, I'd start looking for the SSR bounce. But it's too far down to start thinking about short. You know, maybe a pop back into the 65 for obvious reasons. That could work out. But I might just have to be patient with this one. There's way too much to be looking at. DWAC, as alerted by the professor just now, he messaged saying, yeah, flat top breakout on DWAC, 57. Look at 57 hold on DWAC here. Like that's a 3-minute chart, right? So you're holding that for 10 minutes, and it's a double top at 57 on a potential squeeze name. And then look at what's going on at 55. Like you've got like a refresher support level at 55 even. That kind of sets itself up, doesn't it? For the 57, 55 play here. If it can take out that top. So there's way too much to look at, I think, to be too wrapped up in Twilio, unless it gives the perfect setup off the lows, off of like a 61 or 62 at open.
All right, only 2 minutes to go right now. Yeah, guys, I mean, if you're just joining us right now, we've talked about SMCI a lot. I think the music's going to end on that very, very soon. So, and when does it end? I feel like Wednesday. We have NVIDIA earnings, and then NVIDIA just go look at the past couple releases, right? NVIDIA hasn't fared too well off of those. So we'll see if they can hit again soon. So I apologize for these wicks. There's not much I can do about them for right now, but I'm going to try to go short into 144 here on Google. I really like that level. It's been a good one. We'll find out if you know, the move continues to the south side here on Google. But again, we had third point out of their shares. So a little worrying to me, you know, but this is again, another name. It's not like Apple, because remember, Apple is still is where it was in November. So this have to go down to 130, but you're not far away. So let's wait to see what happens with Google here. I'm trying to get short on that one as we start. We're also trying to get short. I don't have any long ideas right now yet, other than Uber. Well, I mean, if that hits, that hits. This short may hit soon. Like again, we're gonna wait for 180. We marked it down. We like that one. 181 maybe as the maximum, but I'm thinking 182 for maximum pain on that. And then of course the long that I'm waiting for. I have one bid out. It's a bid right now for Uber. If Uber can get into 77, where we sort of held yesterday, right there. Yesterday we were long Uber 74, 75, and then 78 at the end of the day. So great trading there on Uber yesterday. We'll see if we can hit it again today. But this is the whole point. You don't need to get too excited too early here. We'll be able to make some trades as the day goes on. But
AMD's getting close.
Yeah, so I still have an offer there. So let's take a little bit of a short here on AMD.
Yeah, with, we got less than 15 seconds to go. Adair is on the bell. It is Thursday. Should be a wild one. We know we saw DWAC moving, the semis moving. Don't sleep on Bitcoin, Riot, Mara Coin, all those.
Wow,
in
yeah.
3,
52,
2,
4
and
again.
1.
Okay. Yeah, 52.4 there. You might have heard me say on Bitcoin. Like that's starting to go. So we have to watch out for Coinbase. Right. I'm still in that MGOL. It's not doing anything, but I feel like we have to be patient with it. I don't know.
Let it simmer.
Yeah, I'll talk about it out once that happens. We don't
Soundhound,
have as many shares as we probably need to worry about it. Here goes AMD right now. Soundhound, yeah, good news there. Soundhound with NVIDIA. Let's wait to see what happens here. AMD could be the one that we get in very, very soon, but that's what's market trying to head up. We're waiting for an AMD short. I got my eye on Uber and Google.
Big seller on SoFi at 145. I just got, 845. I just got out. I was going to get to, if SoFi's at that price, I'll be nuts. But SoFi, big seller on the offer at 45. I just punched out of it the second I saw it. AMD just ticked in. Sound, look, I like Sound, but I like it at the 350 level, $3.50. If it can't hold 4, 350 is the one. AMD, if it breaks out 180, I think it could really rally. But you saw the seller that was, I saw the seller there in the morning. We'll see if we can't get a bit of a scalp short there. I wanted Micron short too, but I'm waiting for 83 this time. This time I'm waiting for 83 on Micron. So Soundhound, if it comes down to 350, I want to try to grab a long on any kind of a bounce. The news there is NVIDIA disclosed a stake and the stock doubled.
Yeah.
Hashtag logic.
Yeah, well, you know, maybe something there. Maybe like potential takeout or something if you have a stake in it. I could see that for that name. Okay, so we got short there at 180. We got some out at 179.40 there. So we'll take 40 cents quickly, but I want to stay in this until we break a little bit higher than where we are right now. I am also bidding 179 flat. So this is going to be a big trade, hopefully, to start the day. Just to check in, Google kind of went up, but then didn't do that much. Once it went up, it basically stopped at VWAP. We were not. Here we go on AMD, guys. This is a big one here for us on. Ooh, well, we just got filled. Oh no, we missed that 179.
Wow, that was wild.
Yeah, that just was all the way down into 179. I was at 179.05 right there. Let's just take out a fill here in the 20s.
That's absurd.
But this name's really moving around. Google is starting to break a little bit lower now. We'll put an offer right here on Google. What just happened to my offer? Oh, sorry, that's AMD still. Hold on a second. Okay, we're going to try to go short on Google. I need to refresh my position because I thought I just got short there at 143, but we're not in there yet.
SoFi held?
SoFi's holding okay. So we're about to get that fill down here at 179 flat. There it is, bang. Let's go. That's $1 right there. Already there, man. As posted, it's AMD. It's 180. It's $1.40 now in the money off Sticky Note Nation. So we're starting to really rock. Oh my God, now it's $1.50 in the money. Let's take some more out, guys. We're doing quite well right now on AMD as it's trying to fall in one more time here. AMD.
Oh my goodness, I got AMD, but I should have Soundhound there. I was getting that same fill, that 149, 179, and now it's 178. Soundhound, it was the blink of an eye off 350. It was at 355, you blink and it's at $4. So I think this can go. As I said, all it is NVIDIA made a stake in them. Like, that's all you got. Whether or not you think that's enough, remember, These small float runners, they can go. They don't care what you think. They just want to be able to run. Just one note on DWAC. I'm canceling my breakout order on DWAC because DWAC did that off the open. It dropped $5. So I don't want to take a break into a 10% move to the upside. So I'll let this one base out. But I was geared to break the 57 long on DWAC. I jumped back into SoFi here. So it wicked the bottom. I got the wick out. There was a big seller there. I jumped back in. I'll give it to the local low. But it was all AMC in that 180, AMD in that 180.
Yeah.
Somebody was selling it in the pre-market up there, and when it got back up there again, they sold again. So if it holds above 180 and takes out the top, it's probably a reverse long. And if you're watching what's going on in SMCI land, that's still trending higher. If this gets to $1,000, I'm looking for something else to short. Maybe it's NVIDIA, maybe it's coin, I don't know, maybe it's
53 right now for Bitcoin.
Mara held that $30 level. And so I'm looking to go, I wanted the long down into 29s, but if you can only get it off the pre-market low, got to join this party somewhere.
All right, this is a monster trade early here off AMD and I'm writing this out, sticky note level of 180, right? And so it's here, it's now, and it's lovely. This is what we're doing, man. It's just looking for opportunities. We talked about 180 right there. It's $2 now in the money, so we'll just do this times 2 right now, and then pretty much be done for the day. No, we'll still continue to trade, but I mean, that's how many trades do you really need, right? Here we go. We're still making the move lower. We're at the 200 period. We got to take it, man. There it is. Now that's officially there's the $2. So let's wait to see what we do now. Breaking through 178, and man, oh man, I guess I did have some order execution problems. We should have been short there at 143, like I said. I thought. We punched into the short, and then I had to get in and out there because my orders were all messed up, so I'd have no trades on Google, but this was another one. Wow, this dollar club right now is really starting to go, man. Let's go. Hydration Nation's in the building one more time. $2.20 on one trade. We have one trade today, and it is the short here on AMD. Thank you for rocking, guys. I mean, this is what it is happening right here again today, so we'll still wait, man. Oh, Uber, by the way, I just put in a bid to break that 80, but it didn't, man. It got all the way up there to $80 and stopped completely. So Uber, nice move, but Uber trying to go red right now and a nice pushback. We may debate this long here on Uber, but the market's cranking. So let's just sit in this AMD short and figure everything else out from there. But Uber making that move down for sure.
Oh, we're going to the desk?
We could. I didn't hear.
Nope.
DataC getting a nice pop to the upside here, looking to run for a second day in the row. Yesterday, running on its revenue and earnings. Today, running after announcing a $30 million 5G multimodal communication technology agreement. Also worth noting, this one has a float of 1.44 million shares. So this is a Chinese ADR small cap gap, or day 2 DTSS.
The trading, yeah.
So 1 hour ago, I posted that that seller on AMD, but I'm out, and I'll tell you why. Because I said 177 key hold. This time if it bounced off 350, I want to get it. Key level 177 hold. That was big time yesterday, like a pivot zone.
Holy shit.
And you have the pre-market lows. So whoever was selling, to me, they're still selling it. But I got to get over to SoundHound. 350 bounced once and got to 4. If it can do it again, I think let's go for half that move. So we'll call it like 25 cents if it can bounce here on SOUN. Again, it's just an NVIDIA stake. There's nothing else here. And it's up 57%.
God. Yeah. Now we are in the money $3 right now on this AMD. So yeah, there we go. So who was it? Was it you, Mr. Kevin Mendoza? Are you not entertained? I mean, that was it. You wanted those bangers. I mean, $3, I don't know, whatever. It's a decent one right now, and it's AMD. So let's go find some more. It is a nice pullback here for Uber. We're going to leave that alone for right now. Wish we had that short in Google, man. I mean, we thought we had 143 and we missed it. Coinbase, let's see what that's doing near 175. Gets to 173, so not quite up to that level that we were too interested in. But for right now, man, all it takes is one, and we'll sit in that, man. We just covered some more, so we only have about 30% left. Yeah, about 30% left of our position here on AMD as we get a piece out on that one as the market trying to figure itself out. Apple actually ripping. So Apple right now today, the strongest name it looks like out of all of the Mag 6. Right.
I liked Apple 184.25. I just got into Micron. I'll get to there in a second. 184.25, then 186.25 were the two levels I liked to the upside for potential fades. So I'm going to get the orders in. I wanted to wait until we made a push to get an idea how we're moving, but it's starting to slow down around that 184. So I'm giving it to that quarters. It's not 83, but the top on Micron, it just hit 82.69, so call it 70s. Grabbing the fade underneath that level. We'll see if it can hold up. SOUN the first time bounced. You guys saw that one all the way up to 4. The second time grabbed it. Didn't work, so we risked about 7 cents there. I'll let it go sideways for a bit, show some strength before I jump into that one. So the new position is Micron. Thought maybe DWAC was going to give us something off the open. Ends up dipping. Could still have that 57 break. It's on the way through 55, so it looks like DWAC is back in play at that top. Adara?
Nice look here for JFrog, up about 28%. Fairly strong volume here as well. Earnings beat across the board here, higher than expected. Guidance, upgrades, really nice look here for FROG.
All right. Big day, man. I mean, like we keep saying, thank you so much for all the talk in the chat. We have one trade and 1 for 1, and we're just going to sit in it until it gets a little bit better to the downside. But we're looking for more names. So the sticky note name we just looked at Coinbase. I'm really debating this Uber right here. It's just I don't know if I want to go long yet, honestly, on anything in this market. So I have to wait a little bit. But Uber just bottomed out at 78.50, so that was something that was pretty interesting for me. This is just such a heated name that I'm wondering if the market does continue to go down, is it a profit take? Because yesterday, this big finger all the way up here, like 70 to 80, this is one day, So that was a monster yesterday. So we'll wait to see if it's a monster again here today or not. But for right now, it's looking pretty good here. That's Uber looking for a dip into that level one more time. I was debating also right now, and again, I keep saying words like debating and stuff is like because I'm not exactly sure what we want to do. We're doing well here. The idea would be maybe to buy Apple into this break. So buy it if it comes back to 183.60. So this is something that I'm looking at right now with Apple and that level. So we'll see if it can hit. But
Intel's at 91.
Intel's at 91. Okay. What? Intel?
45.91.
Oh, 45.91. What?
Yeah, sorry, 44.91.
Oh, 44. I was going to say because I have an offer here. So.
Double tapped 45. I don't think that wick's real. This one's real. I don't think that one is. So like, once it got to 45, now it's trying to get there again. I'm into Micron here off that because I like Micron 83, so I probably prefer that, and then let Intel be a breakout if it gets there. But Apple was a new position. I got a bad wick. Sorry about the wick. I'll clean that up at some point. I can cancel my 180s. Don't need that. Shorting into 184.25 as mentioned. If it gets down into the 75 range, going to take some out and then see where we can go from there. Amazon puking, Google dumping. If Apple joins this party, it's trying to go green. It's a NASDAQ, which is on the bid, 17.85, about to get taken out as well. So let's see what happens. I'm only short for now. Thought we'd get something in DWAC, as I said, but that runner doesn't seem to want to make the 57 break at all. Yeah, I could cancel it again. It was at 56. I put my 57 stop break in again, and it falls $4.
All right. Thank you so much for that reminder. I have no idea why my order again wasn't there at 45, but we wrote it down on Intel, so we'll just short it, and boom, there it is again. So, actually, by the way, I keep saying I'm 1 for 1, but this mogul, it broke there, so we did get out of 2/3 of this trade. So this is a loser. I actually forgot about that. But look what's happening with Intel right now. Again, another name that's on the sticky note. It goes right to the sticky note level of $45 and then cranks down 30 cents. Congratulations to anybody there again on Intel, as we've just put that in our pipe now, and we'll go 2 for 2 on the big guys, and we'll go over to Adara.
Yeah, keep an eye out or be cautious of PLCE, up 80% right now, already halted twice, currently halted. Short float of this about 17% with 11 million shares. Children's Place initially gapped down last week after weak earnings and guidance. Now entering into some liquidity and financing discussions here, giving this one a pop to the upside. Be cautious of that short float, guys.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
the float in general.
I saw that one
the
popping.
problem there. So I took a first profit on Apple at that 183.25. I want overfills, like not overfills as in too many shares, but the fills over 184 into that 184.25 next. But look out. I see AMAT's going. Look, AMD is holding the bottom where my target was out because that 177 I think is a key hold. But if it can make a lower high, I would jump back into it. SMCI didn't get to 1,000. Lower high on SMCI at 950. So if that starts to roll over, forget about it with some of those chip names. They're going to be looking pretty nasty if that starts putting in lower lows. But if you're looking for what's holding the market up outside of Apple, it's Tesla. Tesla up 2%. I hear people talking about NEO. Rivian's also very strong. Tesla 196. We didn't take it last time. But if it gets to 196, that was that short zone that we were anticipating. Not saying it gets there. If I was that sure it would get there, I'd go long. But I like that 196 on Tesla.
All right, we just went short on Amazon. So Amazon breaks 170 there. Let's wait. We take out a little bit here on Amazon. This is a decent size. This is a big position, actually, because it's breaking. So let's just see if it wants to hold just a little bit right now underneath. So we'll start to level some out here because it's a doozy, and then we'll just see where it goes. So there it is, a nice little break. I was giving this to 160, 170.20. So let's get out now for like 15 cents or so. Where are we short at? We're short at 98. So that was a pretty good short. Let's see if we can hold on to this now for hopefully a little bit lower. We do have a reload here on Intel. This one's not doing as great as Amazon, but we still have some faith in this. So we'll just keep getting some out here on these moves down a little bit. We've got Intel there. There's the reload at 45. I just took it out at, we got 97s there. So we'll take this out in around these 90s. The market's trying to figure it out. We're above 17.8 right now, right? So that was really that key level that we're looking to see if we can break lower on that. So Intel looks like it wants to hold upside a little bit. And here comes the turn right now as well on Amazon. So Amazon's trying to get back to the upside. We did empty out a little bit there, but you know, we do have that out if it breaks above 170.20. So we'll wait for that one. And then here we go, man. Intel, we're in it again. We took a 45 there, and we'll just see if it holds. 45.05, the break long on Intel. So looks like, Neil, this one wants to still continue to go a little bit higher here, INTC.
I had two set to see if it could go higher. I just got into Mara, so new position for me is going to be Mara, but I have eyes on Intel at 45. Mara holds above 30 and starting to go. I mean, you know, Bitcoin is, it's on one. I mean, what else are you going to say? That's what it is. So once we held that 30 level, going to go for the longs back into, I got a 29.75 line, and once it was holding there, I want to give it to that 3/4 mark on Mara. If I can add to it, great. On the way up, I think you can get to $32 on the daily chart is the big level on Mara. So I want to be building in the 30s and then give it to 29.75. And if it can get to the 50s, you know, all that good stuff, 32 would be that big zone. NEO is really, it's not moving that much. The bigger name of EVs outside of Tesla is Rivian. Rivian's the one holding really well up top here. Always try to find relative strength and weakness and see if there's a place to join. Rivian bouncing off that 15 level. If it can hold 16, I think there's some runs. So I'm going to watch that one on the back end. Apple is still holding decently. Have to go back from the 15-minute to the 3. Still holding above VWAP. Needs us to crank down to 183. If we can get 183, I'll be happy with that. But the market's starting to turn, and Apple's strong. Yeah. Relatively strong, I should say. I mean, it was holding highs when the market was at the lows. I know percentage-wise it's lower, but it was relatively strong after the open. Let's get to it there at the desk.
Keep an eye on Boeing here, getting a little pop to the upside. Reuters reporting that the chief of the Federal Aviation Administration, the FAA here, making some comments on the Boeing situation with regards to those grounded planes, saying that they're going to end the audit, they think, within the next few weeks. So Boeing getting a little bit of a pop of that. They're also planning on aggressively expanding their oversight of new aircraft builds there. So good look for BA.
Okay, it's nice to get some better news for Boeing, for any shareholders that are over in that space. Okay, Intel right now, honestly, I'm just trying to bleed this out. You know, if we can start to get it out, I don't know what this market, we said that today could be a little bit of a confusing day in the market, so I don't really want to be sitting here guessing too much. Like, here comes, this is a big one for me, guys, actually. Here comes 77 on Amazon, so we'll bid there, oh my God. Hopefully we can get that right now. And then we'll be pretty happy as there it goes into the 70s. This is a big trade for me. This could be a bigger P&L trade here. So let's see what happens with Amazon. We broke through that 170. We're trying to get lower now for it, and the day is pretty young. So let's still hold out on this. We're actually out of about 65% of the trade, so definitely understanding that that's a little bit early. All right, so as you can see here, I just went over to AMD, which is making me think with this nice little pop up to 178 that maybe we're in trouble with our Intel. So let's get some more out there, which we just did at 90, wow, and then it popped right back there to 45. So looks like we might have been right thinking about getting out of some of these chip names. So let's wait to see if it wants to keep going, but there it goes. Amazon, guys, right back up to the upside. So the scalping is continuing here, but it's not necessarily been overly successful. So let's just still hold out that maybe something can happen for us with a bigger move. But 170.20, and we're out of Amazon, which is getting pretty close right now.
We're gonna power it up. Apple is just, for me, it's just like the AMD trade.
Long,
get
right?
the top
short, nice.
184 to 183. It's the opening range on Apple, but the market's starting to bounce off the bottom, so we grab out of that trade. I'm back into sound. Look, this is the negative stock for me today because we took one shot on the way down. However, this is a bit different. It held the bottom, put in a higher low, so it puts in the higher low. We talked about this when being patient. I took a 50 break. If it holds a higher low at 40, great. I can even maybe add to it in the 40s. But I'm going to give it to this 40 level and see if it can't crank up into VWAP for me. Also, Mara, I looked the gift horse in the mouth. So it got all the way up to 30, 40, and I was waiting for in front of 50s. I will get on the offer this time in front of the 40 level. I'm still trying to add at the 30s, see if we can't get that. But Mara, I should have taken that. Like that was 30.15, and it got to 30.40, and I didn't take anything out. So you always want to make sure you're getting profit on the way on a stock in the first 30 minutes because especially if you're a scalp trader and you think you want to be adding somewhere. Micron's now starting to crank back down underneath the pre-market high, so now it's time to start taking profit on this one. Had to be patient with this yesterday, but eventually it did work out nicely. So I'm going for sound again. It's the one that didn't work, obviously. Apple's looking okay. If you're watching the EV names, we can't trade everything. But Tesla is holding up rather nicely. I like a 196 for a short level on Tesla. So it's not really in my front. It's in the rear view right now. So Micron heading down. There we go. Get to the downside, Micron. It's been a bit of a dog. It is weird to see the EVs lead the market right now. I got to be honest with you. But that's what's happening. Should have bought those 182s, everybody.
So we got stopped out of Amazon. Still a positive trade for us up there at 170.20. Remember what we said we're trying to do is get stopped out when levels break and then see if there is a continuation on that. So that's why we were taking profits down there at 169.70 because again we were very, very uncertain of what this market wanted to do. AMD is really starting to bounce off 177. So I feel like pretty silly if we don't put a bid down there this time. If the market does crank, I mean, that's where we want to get out. So back crank to the downside, obviously. So we'll see if that does happen right now for AMD as it's getting back up to the upside. Our out for Amazon is going to be right here when it breaks 170.50. That's the 50-period moving average. So that's going to be an out there for Amazon if we do need to take it. So looks like right now the market's trying to get spicy again. So that's nice. Let's wait to see if the TQs can come back up here to 17.9. And I feel like that's a good short. Wow, look at Bitcoin, man. Absolutely screaming. Good opportunity to probably check in on some Cardano. Yeah. But we'll wait to see what's going on there. No more shorts. We should have taken more up there near 40 for Amazon. Again, this could be a little bit of a spicy move as the market's trying to get back to the upside. So let's take a little bit more short. We do have our out in and around 50. I like Amazon short really just because of the fact that we broke through that 170 and you know, it's under the market right now. We're under. If the market wants to fall, this could be the one. So let's just wait. I mean, there's going to be better names, it seems to look like. But for right now, I'll rest and ride with Amazon for a minute.
Intel broke 45. I got 1s and 2s up there. Want to see if it can get to the 10 level for a quick little scalp trade. Then I want to get back to Mara because Mara's pulling back. So 45 broke. There's sellers at 9s and 10s on Intel, but I'm about to get a dip buy in Mara as well. So I have my stop in an Intel, that's fine. I want to grab a long in front of that 30 on a bounce here. So I want to give this to 29.75, but I just bought back in at the 30 level. It's really starting to come back in here. Memu's doing okay, so I'm not really too worried about that. The other thing is Intel, my stop is going to be 95s, just underneath there. Tight stop on a breakout trade. I want it to go right away. I was able to get one fill up here at 8s, trying to grab another one in front of that seller that's sitting there at 10s. So it's weird. Micron's going down, Intel's going up. Wow, Mara really dumped in there. We'll have to wait for the front and the back end.
52.7 still.
Really dumped in, so I reloaded off not a 30s. Now it's going to bounce right at 20.75. Too tight a stop. Take less and give it a little bit more room. But yeah, Micron's really starting to dump here. I'm going to take more out of Intel in front of that 10.
Yeah, man.
Because taking a breakout trade when the chips are dumping.
We are huge here on Amazon, guys. Yeah, good talk there. I mean, this is what we're doing. You gotta. That's what I like to talk about, is because like when you're noticing like one sector that's led the market, like chips, starting to really dump. Look what the hell's happening right now on this market. We are monstrous on Amazon. This could be my biggest net trade of the month. Period. Right now on Amazon. Bang, bang, bang. That's what we're talking about. We just talked about who we were rolling with. Who did we say we're rolling with? You, Amazon. What's up, Mr. Bezos? You need to start selling some shares here because you need to pay for those yachts and everything. So let's get going, man. Start selling some shares, Mr. Bezos. Nice move to the downside here. We go to the gates of hell. Right now it is Amazon, and man, oh man, this is a good trade right here. So let's just sit back, relax, and watch this money through the laundromat, because we are starting to get to the downside. Shout out to AZ. Not Jay-Z right there, the firm.
Is it?
Really, yeah, it was AZ, a guy named AZ. But anyways, okay, here we go. Not Jay-Z, of course, whose name is Sean as well. Here we go, nice little move to the downside here for Amazon. Man, this is a good move. Wow, okay, so obviously me trading and being a P&L chaser like we talk about is gonna hurt, but at some points it works, right? When this was down into 70 there and we were getting out, it saved me from being red when we ripped back up. Then we were able to hold VWAP, and then it was hammer time. You know, we put on those hammer pants, danced around like a fool, and still are one, and now we have a nice 71-cent move here. Look what we've done today. Amazon, almost $1 in the money, $3 now in the money on AMD. What else? That's it. And then we have Intel, which we've lost on.
So quick look on Intel.
Yeah, go ahead, yeah.
When Micron was breaking lows and the futures was going lower, I saw there was a seller at 10s. And I covered almost all of it. I covered like 80% in front of that seller at 10s, and they're still there, by the way. Like, it's still legit. Like, they took out the entire offer, and then it just still held the level. So that's the reason I jumped out of it. Micron's down around those. That's the other reason to jump out of that Intel on the breakout trade. It just continues to absolutely flush. I got a bid in front of 82s, and then we'll try to let it ride. I also think I want to short the pops as well. I know there's a couple of halts in there somewhere. CHNR or something is halted. Like China Natural Resources. This will probably halt like 15 times today. I don't even know what it is. The tap on this is flat at 379, but look what's happening here. Halt, open, immediate halt, open, halt after a couple of minutes. Until that calms down, personally, it's a hands-off type situation for me. There's going to be other things to trade out there. But we'll let you guys know what the halt values are. I've canceled my DWAC order again. DWAC just continues to slide down. I don't think we're going to get any love on DWAC. It's getting absolutely nasty. It's hard for this thing to break out when the market's flushing.
I'm just going to tweet this out. I just want to thank everybody for this. I mean, this is the whole point of why everybody needs to watch immediately every single day here on Amazon. This is my largest P&L trade of the month. And we talked about what we were trying to do. We talked about the short. We talked about getting out. We talked about reloading. I said who we were riding with. We said we're riding with Amazon. This is exactly the trade that we're looking for, and it is, for me, just really nice to see because, you know, we sit there and sometimes we get wicked out. Sometimes this stuff happens, and then I just get peed off. Like NVIDIA the other day at 728 short or whatever we had, and I was like, oh man, I can't believe we got stopped out. Well, this day today is the day for me. So good move here. Where's Mr. Mendoza? Honestly, Mr. Mendoza, like, can we get a $1 super chat because you wanted 1, 2, I don't know how many you needed for bangers today. AMD is $4 in the money, Amazon's $1 in the money, and that's it. Other than that, we've done nothing else, man. Intel was easy peasy, and this is why we wrote this down. This was the easiest name to get out of. You don't, like, the levels were easy at 45. I mean, me and Neil have talked about this over and over again. So this one was a pretty basic trade to get out of. So
it was the only level to trade on Intel today.
Exactly, so that's the whole point.
Regardless of direction.
Right.
Regardless of direction.
Yeah,
Don't
so
do anything till it gets to 45.
Yeah, so that's the easy part about Intel, and that's exactly, honestly, if you're looking for trade resources, I mean, right here on the sticky note, we wrote down here when we even talked about Intel, the worst of the bunch, the safest short in the space, and easy. Like we just supposed to use the word easy. This is what we wrote at 8 o'clock, right? You have to have a trade plan. If you don't have a trade plan, then you're not going to be a successful trader. I mean, honestly, it's not, this is not a job where, you know, you're working somewhere and you're just pushing paper around and you go in and do the same thing every single day. That's not going to be a recipe for success. You have to put in the work, you have to be passionate about it, and you have to take risks. And this is, my guy Patty Ice isn't here today, but this is exactly, it's funny because this is exactly what I told Obi and Pat yesterday at lunchtime, was if you see something, go for it, ride with it. You know, so that's exactly what we did here today. We saw AMD. It's the #1 trade idea on here. It says short 180. We're short 180, $3 in the money. We're riding with it. And then we explained Amazon. We said we're riding with this. I'm gonna go. You need another coffee? I'm gonna go get one.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go get one. So that's it right there. What's up, Trader Forever? Yes, you have to. No workflow, no dough. Next time I see my guy, Kevin O'Leary, and he's gonna go, Sean, say cash flow, cash flow. I'm gonna say dough, say no work, no dough. But he's a hardworking guy and he knows
He absolutely is.
And I equate all of this to owning your own business. We've talked about that over and over again.
100%.
You know, you have a restaurant, you manage risk. You know, like what's your inventory? What's all this going on? What's your rent? You know, how's all that? It's the same stuff here. You know, you put it on, you serve up a spicy meatball with Amazon, and you just hope that people like it. You know what I'm saying? But right now we're going over to the big desk. It's 10 o'clock. Oh, thank you, Marisa. Sends me a message here. Good trade, baby. I love you. Thank you so much for that, Marissa. It's always great to have support no matter where I am.
CHNR open, going higher, just for everybody out there.
$1 right now in the money on Amazon and $3 in AMD. I got to go get a coffee. I'm going to get more out of Amazon. So I'll go get one and throw it over to the desk. What's up?
Just got some economic data coming in here. Business inventories month over month, 0.4% versus 0.3% forecast, so just slightly higher here. NAHB Housing Market Index, 48 versus the forecast of 46, so again, slightly higher. Last but not least here, retail inventories ex autos coming in slightly lower than the forecast, so 0.4% versus 0.6% expected. SPY slightly positive on the day, up about 0.25%. Lots of earnings on watch for tonight, so it's definitely something to keep an eye on. DoorDash and Coinbase, DraftKings, among others. So definitely stay tuned for those earnings coming out after the close today. We also do have Feds Waller speaking this afternoon as well. In terms of individual names making some moves, Google trying to recover a little bit here, but still very much to the downside, down about 2.8% after reports that OpenAI is planning to build a web search tool to compete with Google. Also worth noting as well that Third Point Capital sold its entire position in Google, so that could also be something of note here with GOOGL. We also have Tesla to the upside, up about just over 2% here. Kathy Wood's ARK Invest getting a total of $27.5 million worth of Tesla shares across 3 of its ETFs. TSLA to the upside, guys.
Also to the upside, I want to give you guys, it's 10 o'clock, so you want to find relative strength versus relative weakness. This is the market to the downside. This is what Intel is doing. Intel is absolutely flying relative to the market. I'm looking for a dip that I can grab. I thought maybe we'd get VWAP after the breakout trade at 45. Now I got to start thinking 45 dip or higher on INTC. The last couple of days, it's been on one. I think the 50 period sits at 45.70, so that's at 46. I think that can be a bit of a target. You had a previous high that is now completely in the rear view as well. So as long as this continues to trend up, I know it's weird because which was short AMD and short Micron into the bottom, but Intel it's doing its own thing. You got to be able to respect whatever the market is telling you, and it's telling me that that's a strong stock. We were talking SSR plays for you guys, like bounce plays. Fastly has yet to make a distinct bottom. There was a bounce off 17, but here's the 16 level on FSLY. This is where I'd really like to grab an SSR bounce. It's down 30% or almost 30%, and you've got clear support at the $16 level. If it's not that, I think you almost want to sit it out. What else is moving? Rivian's holding that 16. I am watching that one as well. Shout out to you in the chat there. A couple people are mentioning, but Manuel there is the latest to mention how strong Rivian is. Holding on to VWAP, holding on to this strength. I think this is a nice area for potential dip buy. The market's trending down though, so when you want to go, if you're looking for a long on a dip, you should allow it to get into your price and then show a buyer. If I don't see that, you don't have to trade it. Like there's nobody forcing you to jump on that bid because the market seems like it wants to take the 17.8. And if we do take 17.8, remember these guys? ARM just went red. So yesterday, there was a nice VWAP retracement and it happened to be 128. If we bounce here on ARM, you could end up with pretty much the same thing at the pre-market low, yesterday's resistance, and a potential VWAP fade. There it is.
Hey, how's it going, man?
You even do it in the, reusing the glasses. What Randy does. Oh, you didn't, but you use the see-through. And we do have the Trader TV mugs, though. We do have the Trader TV mugs, but I need the coffee, that's for sure. The market is 17.8, by the way. 17.8 is trying to bounce right now on the NASDAQ.
Oh, Amazon is now at 169er right now, $1.50 in the money right now. Wow, this is super spicy, man. I don't know what the hell that Rivian I just saw spike up there a little bit.
Hold VWAP right now.
Okay. What up, A?
CRISPR Therapeutics up about 11% right now, just 10.5%. Wolf Research initiating coverage with a peer perform rating. Worth noting as well on Tuesday, this one announcing a direct share offering. So good luck for CRSP, guys.
That's isn't that a Kathy Wood name? CRISPR.
I
think so.
All right, thanks, Adara. All right. Wow. Today's a very big day. So, all right, let's just go on. Like I told you, this is going to be my biggest trade of the month. So we'll still hold on to that thought. But I'm basically dead out of AMD. Was great too. This is probably my fifth biggest trade of the month. I'm just throwing that out there. It's a good one, but it's not huge. Wow, fifth is pretty good, actually, considering how many trades we make. But anyways, I'm almost out of all of this. Literally have like less than 10% left. So that was not a great out, honestly, if we thought the market was going to fall, but we were well focused on this guy. And so I don't feel too many ways about missing out on a couple pennies there on AMD. So we'll take another bid here on Amazon as it looks like it's trying to get a little bit stronger. Neil made a good point there, bouncing off 17.8. Like that's been a level for a minute. You know, we talked about that on the way up. We talked about that on the way down, and here on the way down now, again, it seems to want to matter. So I don't, although Neil and I will trade stocks here all the time, we are both, obviously we can speak for each other here, like we both looking at the futures.
That coffee is really hot, by the way.
Is it really hot? Yes.
I just
good.
My tongue.
Oh, well, sorry, I didn't mean to, I mean,
No,
I'm not
that's
happy
great.
for that, but
No,
I so much prefer hot coffee.
No,
like,
I prefer it. It's not a big
that's
deal.
why people think, and I showed it, Sharif saw this the other day, I had 3 coffee cups here, all half full. And it's like the one I get in the morning, then the one Randy gets, and then that. So it's like, sure, we're drinking a lot. See, like I just picked it up to talk.
The heater.
And I see something.
I don't know if we have the shot for the heater. Yeah,
you could show the heater.
Like it's plugged in. I can't pull it that far.
Anyways, Obi
I have
got
a
us-
heater so that mine stays hot. Thank you very much, Obi.
Obi hooked that up.
What is also nice and bouncing, and we're not going to look any gift horses in the mouth in a weak market. Intel 45.
Hey, Obi, give a wave, Obi.
up,
Just
Obi?
give a wave. No, he has his headphones
No, he's
in.
focused.
Yeah, all right.
You can see the guy's got the earbuds in, and they're locked in and focused.
Oh, he had the podcast on. I saw that. Yeah. He was listening to the podcast. Might be a little, I mean, you could still check the podcast.
I'm curious.
We're going to film it tomorrow.
I am curious, though, what everyone's
That's what
preference is
killed the
for when
cat,
to listen. Do you
curiosity.
listen Saturday morning? Do you listen Sunday night like I
That's a
like
good
to
question,
do?
actually. You got to tell me a question to ask Brendan. He's not listening now, so I asked him about the sports.
Well, ask him when he listens to the podcast.
no,
Do you like listen?
Brendan,
No, him too. Do you do your podcast listening in the morning with your coffee?
Right.
Or do you do it in the evenings? Are you a morning or I'm an evening usually.
I think you
person.
nailed it on the head. I think a lot of people are with their workout or with their walk of the dog or.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever,
There
it is.
Now you can see the heater. This is courtesy of Obi, so I always make sure. Oops. There you go. Turn it on. I turned it off because it was really hot when you brought it to me, but I'm going to turn it back on now that it's cooling down.
Did we get this story, not to interrupt here about the coffee, but because, I mean, we can't survive without that. Children's Place. What was the story, Derek? Could you look up PLCE? I probably missed it. Children's Place has halted like 7 times. I'm almost certain Adara's brought this to us already, but Children's Place, PLCE has halted once, twice, 3, 4, 5, and
Float's 11 million, 17% short.
Right, I've definitely missed the story. I'm wondering if there is like someone's taking a stake, like I don't know. When is there? Hold on a second. Let me just check out. So this is something off Trade Ideas that I really love. And by the way, Mr. Nas, which I don't know if he's watching or not, but I wanted to get a new layout for the market recap, so I'm going to bug him tonight because I really like this feature here. All right, so yeah, huge options volume, pre-market on the 14th. So we still got a month away, which means we have to go over to Adair and find out what's good.
So here's what's going on with Children's Place, PLCE. So they released pretty weak earnings last week, initially gapped down on that over here. Then they received notice from Snowball Compounding and parties related to Mithaq Capital, which owns about 54% of the stock. Basically what's happening is we have Children's Place entering into discussions with Mithaq with regards to financing to assist with Children's Place liquidity needs. So it's just some financing discussions after those earnings we had last week, guys.
And
That's a short.
shorts
That
having to
is
cover,
short.
but like let's be real, like it's not gonna hold up here.
Oh man.
But if you try to just guess at where the turn is gonna go, it's tricky. Everyone knows that's a tricky game. The key level, just for anybody out there, it's already broken through 32. 50 is so ridiculously obvious. Like it's probably worth even paying for locates in case this gets near the 50 level. I feel like that is low-hanging fruit. If it gets, I don't think it's getting to 50, but if it were to get to 50, I respect it. I'm going to go for another dip buy next time we get it on until it continues to fly. That 17.8 bounce is good and might give an opportunity, if you like names short, to try to reload them.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at VWAP on Micron or just up top at the high of the day again. So if you get into VWAP, I'll look for the reload in that. Airbnb is mooning. Let's go Airbnb. I like them.
We said, remember yesterday when Airbnb was down 10% or whatever it was, I said this name will be up tomorrow. I didn't realize it would be doing that. Go over to Neil's chart.
There is one red candle on my 3-minute because that's pre-market BS. But one red candle on the 3-minute, 4% up, $6 from the open, and just to throw it out there, 155 on a break. How's that for a breakout trade? 155.
Probably good.
Probably, I'm going to say, it's a little parabolic into the 55 level, so it's going to have to, I would never take a break on a parabolic move. It's got to pull back, consolidate, but just mark off the 155 level on the daily. Absolutely nonsensical. SMCI is bouncing and back over 950. And be careful because if this breaks and goes to 1,000, you want to watch that one when it gets to 1,000 if you're in any kind of a chip name. I think that could be nasty. I feel like it's going to reverse at 1,000. That's just me.
All right. So, good call there. SMCI and the chips just continue to be crazy. We're in it now. AMD is a $3 winner. I'm not gonna rest on it though. Intel, I'm really glad that we were able to get out of that one. I feel like we nailed that. I feel like Children's Place is a short. Whenever I hear stories about like, oh, we got financing, this and that, you're getting financing for a reason. So just watch out for that one. It's kind of like when you go to the bank for that last little loan there, like, you went there for a reason. But let's just wait to see what happens.
Oh, we have free locates on that?
Yeah, it's halted. Children's Place just halted again, by the way. So the tap right now, just to give everybody an idea, so we just halted at 38 flat right there, 38.03. The tap right now is 35, but that's going to get figured out. That's not a real tap.
Oh, no.
That's not a real tap. So I'll get to that when that happens.
Disney 112.
Disney, bang! That's the trade that we want. All right, let's go over to Disney quickly.
No. I mean, it already broke one.
Oh, 112. Okay, so the players are already there.
So dip into 112. Dip by into 112.
That was a good opportunity. Yeah, good call. So yesterday on Disney, we actually ran that Disney long yesterday, and we were in it way early. And remember, we were like, oh, we got to be in something that's strong. And it was Disney, and Neil just called that right now. So yeah, through 112, that was one of those iPad names there that we try to write down to figure it out. So
yeah, whose job was it to yell out 112 on Disney?
I thought you wrote on your iPad, man.
No,
you trust
I did.
the iPad
It's right there. I have one number next to Disney. It's in my list of the things that I should be watching in the morning, and not the list of the big cap text. It's like all the new stuff is at the bottom, and it's there. And I should have put like I don't know. I guess you can bold stuff.
You could bold stuff, yeah.
Hello, Boomer. Of course I can bold it. It's Notepad. I'm talking out loud.
It's Microsoft Word.
As to like what I could use differently. I don't know. I think it's just Notes is the name of the app.
In that, I think Notes.
I'm not an Apple user, but I could have bolded that. Either way, if it was a good breakout, then what I like to do if you get a break at a key price is it takes the stairs up, I want to look for the long off of that breakout price, which ends up being VWAP as well. So if this comes back in, I think we want to grab that. The market's trying to go back to green again.
Big time.
And if we do, I want to find something else long. That's why I'm saying Disney back into 112. Andrew Ditter, put it in your Trapper Keeper. Huh? Andrew, respect my authority.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No, I love South Park. That's all I gotta say. I love a lot of South Park. I would drop more South Park references, but all my favorite ones are inappropriate.
It's hard to know which ones.
I used to be a student athlete.
Athlete, yeah. They I was just looking for some reloads just here
quickly.
Those
guys are geniuses, man.
Yeah, what's the guy's name? Those brothers, right?
Yeah, Trey and Matt and Trey something.
Every time you say Trey, I think about Trey Lance. Okay. Oh, what is their names? People's gonna say it.
The worst. I shouldn't.
Athlete. Yeah.
It's never an athlete's fault where they get drafted. I'll say that. I'll say that 10 times out of 10. I cannot stand the bust label.
Unless you're Eli Manning.
When someone reaches on an athlete that is. The guy played division, he wasn't even in a big school. Trey Lance wasn't even at a big school. And everyone vaults him up. He's an incredible athlete. He sat out his COVID year. And then he gets drafted high, and everyone labels him a bust when he never had a chance. If he gets drafted in the third round, no one's calling him a bust. They're calling him a project. And he didn't choose where he got drafted. Anyways.
Yeah. No, but I think he's probably still, this is what, his fourth year? Third? Now he's in Dallas, so we have to... When Dak loses his job.
Micron view up, I'm reloading.
Right, Sharif? I don't know. How do Dallas Cowboy fans feel about Dak? I'm here. Right, okay. Psychological issues. Wow, okay, all right, here we go.
He should be.
Stay tuned for more psychological analysis of Dak Prescott.
He should talk to J.J. McCarthy.
On the midday show.
What I love about that kid on Michigan is he just cares about getting better. He doesn't care about the percent. The guy's sitting there meditating, and people try to make fun of him when he's sitting doing his thing, meditating. Well, guess what? He'll talk openly about the fact that he had some mental health issues, and then he went out there and he did what worked for him, and he won a national championship, and he's going to get picked in the late first.
But now, according to Sharif, then they're going to have two quarterbacks with mental health issues. I don't.
Dak.
Oh, he can't play.
Dak can look, man. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
I like
Dak Prescott. He is my second favorite quarterback. So thank you for the victory there. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I like him because we beat him. Yeah.
I'm not even.
I mean,
I'm the biggest Cowboys hater there is. So I'm not.
Yeah, you and Stephen A.
I'm not even going to go there.
I like Tony Romo. Yeah.
DraftKings. I want to get to DraftKings in a second. If this could load up.
Disney is. Ooh,
Triple
still-
bottom on DraftKings right now.
Bottom? I thought we had an upgrade on DraftKings today.
We did.
What did we have on DraftKings?
We did, but it's holding on. So this closed at
is the market?
$43.88.
What time is it?
This low at the open, $43.88. It's held once, twice. It's trying to hold the previous close like 3 times here. So if it can do that, it's got a shot. But if we roll over, that's a bit of a flat bottom break. I just reloaded on Micron. That was the new position alert for me. I guess it's not really an alert. I should have hit the key. I keep forgetting that I actually have that now, that I can hit the new position thing.
Oh, the alarm?
Yeah, I have the siren now. So I got it VWAP on the way back in on
Nice.
Micron. We'll play it down into the low of the day.
frick?
Might be reloading Intel. Where is Intel? Okay, Intel bounced. I'm bidding. I guess we didn't get to fill at 3s. I'm bidding at 3s, looking to replay this off the 45 level. If I don't get touched when it bounces off that level, then I'll look to add on the way back to the upside. So Intel is the one long that is holding on for dear life as the market is starting to roll over at 17.85. So Micron's where I went back into the short. If I see something else I like, I'd go to that. Rivian, I thought that could be a VWAP bounce.
Are you waiting for me?
What the hell am I doing?
Oh, okay.
I thought I was bidding Rivian on VWAP. I guess I wasn't.
I guess you are not. All right.
You see, look at the chart.
Remember I told you yesterday?
Look at the chart. Hold on, pull the chart up. I thought I was bidding Rivian on VWAP. Apparently I wasn't.
No. Remember I told you yesterday there was some, it's just like, well, I thought I had that offer there on Intel. Like, I don't know. I
swear
feel
to-
like I'm getting spooked here every day. All right. So we're in the TQQs there. We actually wound up taking, I actually made a keystroke error and took too many shares there. So that's why we have a bunch of outs when we got it. But we are right now short the market. Yeah. So the TQs is the NASDAQ 100, but it's a much more aggressive instrument than the Qs. It's triple the aggression. So if you are mad, no, I'm not mad. Here we go. We are now short here at 42s. I'm trying to play off that wick right there. So 55s. So we'll see where we go. But right now we are back into, not back into. The only reason why I shorted the Qs here was because there wasn't really a name that I went over to that I preferred to short rather than the market. So we've been trading. You guys have asked for a little bit more futures trading. So I'm going to go short the futures right now, and I choose the NASDAQ. So Pikachu, I choose you. Let's just wait to see where it goes.
Arms at VWAP.
Arms at VWAP. So that was something else that we had put on our warning list there, was to watch out for a VWAP trade on arms. So yeah, we'll probably go over there as well. But right now I got to deal with the TQs. So.
Yeah, I'm going to go. I mean, I'm already in Micron off VWAP, but an arm at VWAP was good yesterday, so why not there? Yeah, I mean, sometimes, you know, it is what it is. I'll just slap that up as a fail because I said it was like 2 VWAP bounces. One of them was Intel, and, you know, obviously the other one was Rivian, which I'm not going to take. Like, there's absolutely no chance that I'm trying to, you know, just chase the high because I didn't get into the trade. So I'm going to try and get ARM, maybe get it above VWAP into 129.5. But now you just got to look for what's next with Rivian. If the futures make another leg higher, the next trade is forget about VWAP and look at the previous like high, so 1625. Okay, so if it went 16 to 1650, just look for a pullback into 1625. It can base out there, then try the long off of that level. That's all you can do. So if I get ARM, I get ARM, but the reload in Micron, we're going to get some out 30s, we're going to get some out in the teens, and then we'll try to hold on to Dodge to the downside. Because the market is stair-stepping down, right?
Hope
Like
so.
that's what's happening. Well, I mean, that's what's happening. 79 to 78, back up to 78.5-ish, and then another leg to the downside, hopefully. So you want to look for some shorts. Relatively weak names I want to be shorting, and if the market breaks out with a higher low, I want to be looking to go into one of the 2 longs that I like. Javier asking about NNOX. I'll give a big resounding, I do not know what's going on in this stock.
Oh, there was.
Volume.
Isn't that NVIDIA one?
No, I thought that was another one. I thought the NVIDIA one was SOUN for sure. I don't know what the deal is with that with NNOX, but it is catching a bit off $9. Watch out for the halt down was 1050. If it holds the halt down price, I think that could be spicy. But the market's rolling over. I should have got that arm. We got Micron, but we didn't get arm.
Futures trading. Let's go, man. Let's hit the siren up for some futures trading. Right now, let's just see where we go from here. But right now, we are short once again. And here's a nice move down. Look at that. Bang. I mean, what else? What else? The chef is in the building right now with the TQs now. So we're at the highest spot we've been at all day. I just said, I mean, again, we just broke this down. This is not going to be a P&L monster by any stretch of the imagination because, again, we're just sort of looking at the TQs here. And again, this is a triple levered name there. So I'm only trading it because, as opposed to the SQs, we always get the question, sorry about that, was that I'm just stumbling here because I'm watching Amazon as well, because we still have that one short, and we just took a piece out for $1 there. I'm trading TQQs instead of SQQ because we don't have the margin requirements, or we don't have to pay for shorts or anything like that for any of these names. So a lot of you will trade the SQQ, which means you go long on a short market. So
yes.
It's just for me, our blotters, which is like our account statements, they show the active positions. I have mine set to be everything short would be red in my account and everything long would be green. So for me, if I'm going to short the market, I'd just rather look over and see some of this.
Every trader would do it that way.
Yeah.
But
some of these.
If you had the option. If you have the option,
yeah.
Wouldn't you want to bet short? If you want to bet the stock's going down, you want to short something.
Yeah.
As opposed to going long and inverted. I know it messes
I think so.
It messes with my head to do it the other way. So you just do whatever's comfortable for you. But I reloaded one. We got Micron off VWAP, so we'll get those outs there. But I'm going to make an adjustment here on ARM because I wanted to show you that before I got to ARM. ARM. So I'm going to cancel this for now because that pullback, I just saw Micron bounce VWAP and go to the low. ARM held the range. So that's a little bit strong on that last little dip. It didn't really dip when everything else did. So that's not ideal. Intel, okay, it bounced off 45. I might just get back on the bid here. As the market looked like it could have rolled over, I hesitated to bid the 45 level. I'm just going to jump back on there. Last time I got threes, I'm going to go to ones now. So going to stick with Micron. That's been a good one for a couple of days here. That NNOX, I just said I didn't know if it was an NVIDIA stake or not. It is an NVIDIA stake in NNOX. I knew for sure SOUN, but that's another one where it just seems like NVIDIA is investing in you and you have a small float. Let's just go ham. But the 1050, halt price, resistance, support. I'd base longs off of that price. I like those halt levels. I think, are we ready?
I believe there's numbers coming out or something. The futures are starting to go crazy right now. We just got another piece out on the TQs. We're going to go to the desk in a second. We just got another piece out. But right now, we just shot up a little bit right there. So was it a call for Adara? I think we're confused. Yes, okay. Over to the desk.
Now there's small cap running here, lots of small caps running today, but one of the ones we're talking about here, Jumia Technologies, JMIA, releasing earnings. They did have a drop year over year for Q4 sales, but much less of a loss year over year as well. So good to note there, JMIA. Children's Place, also worth knowing, this one initially, this is a 15-minute chart, initially dropped after earnings on February 9th, where they also announced they were looking for some financing and liquidity. Now today, there's a report that MeTech Capital is going to be in conversation with Children's Place for potential financing and liquidity. The big thing to note here as well is going to be the float of 11.58 million shares, short float of just under 17%. So that's definitely something worth noting here for Children's Place. Last but not least here, just mentioned by Neil as well, NanoX Imaging, NNOX getting a stake here, NVIDIA getting a stake in this company, just under 60,000 shares. SOUN also benefiting from that NVIDIA investment there, guys.
We forgot about Oxy this morning. Oxy reporting. I have this on my personal account. I'm not getting out to like the high 60s, but Oxy's breaking the high of the day. The other thing that's important here is Tesla 196 is about to hit any second now. So there's your daily chart. This is the 196 level on the daily chart. You can see it was a support level that turned into resistance the last little bit here. So at this time of day, it's a parabolic move into that level. I'm on the offer to try and get like the top of the wick and play it back into 195. Didn't get the Intel reload just yet. Micron's hanging at the lows, but Tesla 196 is the next big level I think is going to come back into play. BGZ, you didn't forget about Oxy. Good, that's what I like to hear. You can't cover everything, but between the entire community, we're going to make sure you're going to see every single name that's going to be interesting and a mover, whether it's small cap, big cap, whatever sector it might be. You're going to hear about it here. You're going to hear it live. Tradertv Live. And if you like it, I pity the fool that doesn't hit the like and subscribe button.
That's right.
That's what I should be.
Yeah, I feel like more people will be hitting you now for sure. All right, so there it is. We got to reload right now on the TQQs, man. We reloaded those futures. Guess where? It's something called the magical land of VWAP. So we just reloaded it right there, and here it goes back into the downside. And there's a pretty decent fill. We're going to wait for a little bit lower now on the TQs and see if we do actually get, well, I was going to say we could wait, a move to the downside. So we'll wait for it. I feel like we're going to get it. Let's just see. Nice hold there on VWAP. Now we can push back down lower. I'm trying to bid 58 flats, basically, somewhere near the bottom. Was debating like in here. Let's just put a bid there anyways. All right, in case we do crank lower. 58.13-ish, we'll put a bid, and then we'll pull our 58.05s that we had and wait to see if we do get a move down. But there it is. This is what we're doing, man, live every single day. If you don't believe us, come back tomorrow. How about that? Okay. Then you could see all this happen one more time. If you missed some of the trades, come back tomorrow. Or stay right here because we do have the midday show coming with Adara and Sharif, and they're going to show you all about. We're at the highest we've been at all month, obviously, as we had Amazon was our biggest trade of the month. But we just right now are really, really cruising here because, man, did we just nail that short off the market again there off VWAP a couple times. So there's the TQs. Let's go, man. We're bidding 13s. Bang. What else can we do? What else can we do around here? I just hope you're enjoying the show. I mean, there goes the TQQs. Let's go. I mean, this is what we're doing. You guys wanted futures trading. It's delivered, man. We got Bitcoin. We've got futures trading. We've got AMD. We've got Amazon. We've got them all. We've got Children's Place. Whatever you guys want to talk about, let's go. This is a nice move here in the futures. We got it right there. So here we go. Oh, my. Oh, my. Nice move back into the lows of the day. Oh, damn, Daniel. The market's going lower. Look at Amazon. Boom, right back in there. We take another out right there. Look at AMD. So right now we've got a $1, a $2, a $3 winner off the sticky note. If you're joining for the first time and you're like, hey, man, where are these trades and where are they coming from exactly? Well, here they are. Well, a couple of them are from the sticky note today. How about this one? AMD, 180 short, right? We had that short right there, right when the market opened. We gave it a little bit of time. Our first fill no, we didn't, is right at 931 right there. The Google short has been so cash, but I thought I got short 143 and missed it. I was talking about that. We'll have to check back in on the Uber, and then the Intel was quickly in and out. After that, man, the reason why we went short into Amazon, I'm just really proud of this trade because of how we broke it down for everybody. And the same thing on those Qs. We had VWAP, we had to move back in, the futures started to crank. So there it is right there on Amazon. So it's just, it's really nice when things work out. So that one did. So we'll be happy with that, obviously. And it's 10:30 now, so we're gonna get ready for the crypto update. But before we do that, I did want to just check in on Coinbase quickly. So although we're just talking about crypto a little bit right now, there isn't a whole heck of a lot happening in Coinbase other than just sort of a little bit of range right now. So, all right.
Well, actually,
go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. We're going to go to Adair now.
Well, we're going to go to Adair for the crypto update, but that 52 level just wicked a new low on BTC. So
new low?
Off the 50,
oh, wow. Okay.
52,000. It's holding 52.20. So I just actually got in. Because that's how I roll. I got in 5-2. Oh, our positions don't show. We're working on it. It should.
We just got crypto a week and a half ago.
Yeah, it's also like the way the symbol works.
Coffee.
It's not like a normal stock symbol, so you can see what it is. That's kind of one of the issues. But I got 2-2-2-2s, like all 5 and then 4 2s is where I'm long. But I want to give it to that underneath 52. Even I am out of Intel, just to let you guys know when it could not hold 45, and then Micron made a fresh low.
Intel went back in.
It went back underneath 45. Micron just made a fresh low. I'm going to hold on to this. It was a VWAP retracement. I didn't get ARM VWAP retrace, but that's not working as well. Like, it's not at the lows. So Micron, I think, is a weaker name than ARM today as we go to the desk for the crypto update.
As Sean was just mentioning there, Coinbase definitely going to be one to watch today in terms of these crypto-related stocks. JP Morgan upgrading this one from underperform to neutral with an $80 price target ahead of its earnings after market close tonight. So definitely stay tuned for that. Coinbase pulling back a little bit, but still up about 5% right now heading into those earnings tonight. Bitcoin itself still really strong. Here's the look on the daily chart. right now just below that 52,000 area, but we were at one point at a new 26-month high for BTC. So really good look here, continuing for Bitcoin on this nice move to the upside. Ethereum, worth noting here as well, actually up 2.5% into that 2,800 level. Rest of this pretty mixed. We have Solana down about 2.5%, BNB up about 8.5%, Cardano up just shy of 5%, guys. So very mixed look on these cryptocurrencies, but Bitcoin and Ethereum still show no signs of stopping.
Okay, so what I saw from there was that basically Cardano was leading the way, so that's good to see. Okay, yeah, we're just, yeah, I think it was 5% there. It was pretty good. All right, so we'll wait for that to happen. So right now, what we are not being too patient with is the futures. It just hit 58. We did not get out. I'm gonna hold this as much as we can. So now we're just gonna hold this. Hopefully we could be in this at the end of the day. The only thing that I wanna talk about is AMD, because Neil just mentioned Intel breaking the other way. And I was just noticing that AMD is really not doing much and kind of just hanging out. We're still in it, but honestly, this bottom of 176.50, like I said, we have less than 5%. This is not even a big position, but just if you guys are in it still, 176.50, I'm gonna put a bid there. I don't really expect to get it anytime soon, but I'm just gonna put a bid there to end the trade. It's too bad because I have another offer at 180.25 that just didn't fill because we got this first and then I put another one and then we only got up that time to 16s. This time we got up to 50. So we put another offer there at 25 to get more short once we saw this developed top because we took this against ourselves. So we took AMD against ourselves about 50 cents. So it wasn't always rose-colored glasses here with AMD today, but I heard Neil say it before, you know, price action and, you know, the pattern's a pattern, and if you like something, you take it. BTC right now is just flushing pretty dramatically, to be honest. I mean, it's not dramatically because it only flushed like $500 or $600 and it's 52 grand. I understand that. But I mean, you could see here, Coinbase down $3 in 5 minutes. So let's go over to Adair News.
Not seeing anything on this right now, but Faraday futures gaining up almost 100% now, just up over 100% here. This one is a penny stock, but it's worth noting for context. Float of about 8 million shares, short float of 27%. Be very cautious. FFIE very much to the upside here, guys.
We finally got Randy's order. I guess it went through. It finally went through. There was some
Randy
questions
wanted
on whether or not the financing would hold, but it looks like Faraday futures now going upside on Randy's car purchase there.
I'm gonna pay for locates on that one.
Where's Randy? Where's that? Let's get Randy. Where is that, right? Outside. No, he's not
Disney
outside. There he is.
VWAP,
Hey, what's up, Randy? What's up, Randy? Good job, my guy. Nice job. All right.
Disney's at VWAP, so I'm on that one. We talked about this at 112. Obviously, the breakout trade is come and gone. So the dip buy, as the futures are trying to hold, let me just hit accept on those FFIE shorts. So, whoops, I want the level
Randy
2.
is tendering his resignation.
I'll give you this one on Disney. So remember, this is a stock that, while a $100 name, it's a NASDAQ name, DIS. When you talk about the level 2 or like spreads and that stuff, it is opening up a couple of cents every little bit here. So Disney's not your average $100 stock. I don't think you stop it out if you're buying 12s at 99s. You know, I'd rather give this to like 111.80, something in that range. So give it a little bit more of a wide berth if we can. The only short I got left on, of course, is Micron. If it gets VWAP, I'd take it again, but I don't know if we're going to get VWAP one more time here. Unfortunately, you know, I'd love to be able to get a third leg into this if we could grab it. If you also look at some of those like small cappers, I know like NOx looked like it was going to hold. It's putting in a nice little consolidation. Maybe it wants a second salvo, holding $9. The longer it holds 9, I'd look for like an afternoon bounce on this one. But it looks a little better than SOUN, because SOUN kind of sunk for me. Like the level I wanted it to hold, which is the 350 twice, took 2 shots at it, both of them didn't work, and now 350's resistance on SOUN. So I feel like that NNOX looks a little bit better right now.
Are you sure that wasn't my coffee? Oh, Faraday. Okay, so Faraday Futures, FFIE. Watch this, Randy. I just said that your financing finally went through. So here it is right here. Congratulations, by the way. I don't know what color you got, but from 7 cents there. So they were a little worried. See, you see Faraday Futures here? They were a little worried that the financing wasn't coming through, but then there it is right there. Nice move up, one sale, and the car goes... the stock goes boom, but there it is, Faraday Futures with a nice move back up to the upside right there. Not bad at all. Let me just check
There's
out
a million on the
FFIE.
offer of MyX right now.
FFIE right now. Oh, it's only a 70% short float. That's probably the biggest one. I don't know if we've seen one.
Look at this offer.
70%.
Where is he? Where is he?
All right,
Oh, you
Neil
can't
has
see it
it.
anymore. It was 1.1 million on the offer. You can't. There it is. Oh, they brought it down. There it is.
Wow. Yeah, you know what? When's the last time we saw? Oh, it's gone.
Remember, this stock is 11 cents. It's not
Randy,
like,
are you trading on your phone there? You just bought 11 million shares of FFIE.
it's not a big order per se.
Trying to pay
Like,
for
in-
that car
for a
right
day.
away. You almost can get out here for 1 cent on that 11 million share order there,
got
Randy.
filled.
That's not bad. Lunch on you. Oh, we got to go to that. We could all go to that. Yeah, man, we haven't gone. We've been talking about this for, I think, for 4 years.
I love brisket.
Yeah. Oh, is it snowing now? I was going to ask
Starting
you.
to, yeah.
yeah, we're
Are you
screwed.
checking the cameras? I got to start checking.
Yeah, we're
Yo, I got to go to Scarborough tonight for a hockey game. Yay, me. All right, coffee?
How bad does it have to be before they cancel? Because hockey, they don't cancel.
No, they will. Yeah, no, it has nothing to do.
Because I know the roads. Like
Yeah, if the roads are
my daughter's gym, there was one storm, I think, and one of the evenings the gymnastics was canceled for weather.
So Scarborough's one of the boroughs, but I live in like the West Borough, and this is a very much East Borough, right there. I know it's not where Sharif lives. What was it, Centerville, or what did you call it? Midtown. When it's clearly uptown, in my opinion. But we've talked about.
What we know about Sharif's area is they have good karaoke there. Apparently, that's what he keeps telling us. So.
Do they? What is your favorite karaoke genre there, Sharif? Does not have one, so you're just multi-talented. You just rock any of them. Okay, I thought rock. I think a lot of people
You have to
prefer
have
rock.
I have a very
Yeah.
specific favorite when it comes to karaoke.
R&B.
Rick James.
Oh, Rick James.
No, Rick
Marissa's
James
in the
is
chat?
the
No,
category.
hopefully not.
Rick James. That's all I'm saying.
We also died multiple times. Oh yeah, she's right. Yeah, when we were up north there in Collingwood. What's up, Marissa? Thank
You
you
died multiple
thank you for once again coming into the chat and adding some content. So that's really good. But yeah, no, we did. I think I talked about that on the show. We almost did die up in Collingwood because
didn't almost.
No. Yeah, no, we didn't. We didn't even go off the road. But the idea was that it was pretty violent. All right, the weather. Anyways, all right. FFIE continues to go up. If I was Randy right now and I was long those 11 million shares, I would probably think about even just taking 1 cent. But there it is. It's a nice move upside rate. Was it 1 million or 11 million?
Probably.
By the way,
It was 1 million. That's not a
1
lot.
million. But then Randy probably tried 11 million. There was some hidden orders there.
Well, if it was 10 million, I would have jumped on the offer because that's 1 million probably gets filled. It's done 45 today. But if it was a 10 million short order, that's a quarter of the volume. That would have been a reason to just automatically go short.
Marissa's DMing me saying she loves Randy. And it's also not snowing at our house yet. So starting to snow here. Hopefully it doesn't get out there. And also hopefully it misses Midtown for Sharif. So that would be good as well because we're downtown now. So down, mid, and up, east, west. That's what we're doing here in
Geography class.
Toronto. So the TQ is starting to make a move back upside. We're just really stone cold chilling right now. Shout out to Mr. Austin. Ooh, thank you so much.
That's very light.
Randy, you might want to get out of those Faraday Future shares.
A lot of oat milk in there. Oh, let's get to Sector Watch.
Almond milk.
Bit of a mixed to weak performance in some of these tech-related sectors, but the rest of the market really strong. Just quickly to touch on technology services here. Meta to the upside, a lot of these other major names to the downside. Google having its entire position in Google being liquidated, so Google very much to the downside here. Some of these chips and also Apple to the downside in electronic technology as well, with Warren Buffett and Berkshire Hathaway selling about 10 million shares in Apple, so that's definitely something of note. Finance, very strong across the board here, especially Charles Schwab. Health technology, pretty strong as well. Producer manufacturing, with the exception of Deere, which reported earnings this morning. Consumer services, pretty strong. Commercial services, consumer durables, Tesla leading to the upside. Utilities, energy, minerals, health services. Other than these tech names, really not a lot of weakness across the board here. Lots of strength, guys.
And
Deer's down 5 points.
yeah, remember we talked about Deer with the earnings. I want 5%. Yeah, not $5.
5%,
That's a $350 name. So I just want to talk quickly because on the sticky note, we did, and I forgot about this because Randy came through there, which he's obviously more than welcome at all times. We wrote down here ARM we wrote down 130, I think, in here. We didn't write it on the sticky note. There it is right there. 130 is where it looks like. So right now, it is 130. So it's just, we wanted to play ARM. We've done this the last couple of days. We wanted to play it off of VWAP. So we've had some monster trades. It was my #1 stock yesterday. And actually, because we tweet out seems to be everything. Yesterday, I could show it to you, but we were shorting ARM off of this level, and it was fantastic pretty much all afternoon. And I'm just trying to find out if I can find that chart when I was doing it, just to see the exact levels that we were trading off of. But anyways, I don't think, maybe I didn't tweet it, I can't find it. But we were doing this yesterday. So let me just see what yesterday's levels look like on here anyway. Yeah, so there it is. So yesterday was 128. We were shorting against this high of 128.50 against VWAP. Again, VWAP will figure itself out. And as you can see right now, it looks like it might be a similar trade happening again for us right now. So there it is, 129. So we got it, we got to get a little bit higher in order to do that on ARM. But it's now trading, Neil, believe it or not, like a real stock, it looks like, and what I mean by that is it's not like going ham, basically. It seems like it wants to move with the rest of the market. So we'll see about that, and we will wait on it. But we are just really, really cruising. I actually forgot about this name. It's doing absolutely nothing. So maybe if it breaks 40, we'll get out. This is a losing trade that we had earlier on, but we don't normally trade those kind of names. We thought we'd take a shot there with a 400% revenue increase, but it doesn't really seem to matter. Amazon is really what's taking this for me to the next level today. And we've talked about this one being, and again, we try to do this every day here for you. I'm gonna, not only just try to like celebrate some of these bigger trades, but also like let you know, like I said, we were riding with this, and then as it was going down, I was telling you this was my biggest trade of the month, and it's just gonna continue to be that way as we are now holding very, very small amount because we just took that out. Like it's been bouncing off there. I wanted to go back to it, talk about that. It's Amazon. Traders always going to wish they had more shares, but we're happy we had some anyways on this. And it was a good one, and it's Amazon and it's Adara.
Another very low float small cap runner just to be cautious of here and cognizant of Seco Holdings, SECO. No news on this, market cap of 810,000. We also have shares of 770,000 and a short float of about 5%. So all pretty notable. Be cognizant of SECO, guys.
Cognizant a couple
That's a
times
lot of
there. I really have to be cognizant now of that trade.
Cognizance? I don't know, whatever. Could be the word of the day, but I figure you guys will do better than that, so I'll wait for something a little bit more verbose from the professor or Adair before.
Well, verbose, I mean, we might not get one more than verbose now, so now you've screwed that one up, Neil. Wow. Neil, you ruined your own thing right there, man. You now put them into a new stratosphere.
Did I, though? Did I?
Okay, well now, Sharif, now you got to have
now, Sharif.
No, you got to have a more fancy word now, my guy.
You got to step it up, man.
Come on, Sharif.
Disney buyers need to step it up, Mr. Long Shorts. The 112 is being tested here. I got 22s because I always have I have 22 half. Like this time it rounds up to 23, but I need to hold on to 111.80. Like I'm going to give it down to the 80 level and just see if this can bounce. It's a strong name the last couple of days, and we know. Like this was that like breakout area that we're just looking for the next leg up. Like if it can get through the top and get through 13, there's a lot of room to definitely to go. There's a bit of a battle going on here in the market at the bottoms, but oops, that's SoFi. I wanted to go to SMCI. The stock that is not battling off the bottoms is as usual SMCI. Yeah, it's up like 9.5%. This is so strong. I think we're going to see 1,000 today. So you want to have a plan of action for 1,000, which is short other chip names if 1,000 goes. Whether that's nice for me, I like VWAP on Micron all day, every day. Any pop into maybe not VWAP. I guess it's like 178 on AMD. I'm just setting it up. If SMCI curls at 1,000, these are probably all going to be reasonable for fade plays, but maybe not VWAP for AMD. That's looking much more like a 178 is going to be the level for that. I'm not saying SMCI gets to 1,000. If I was dead certain it would happen, I'd be long. I just mean if it gets there and turns, I want to be short something, and I want to know what I want to get into at that level. Remember DraftKings? It is still teetering within 5 to 10 cents of the previous close. So there's definitely some buyers in there. It hasn't really given it up just yet, but at some point, if it gives that up, I think it's kind of like hunting for a bit of a fill back into like whether it's 43.5 or 43 even. So I got my eye on that one if it starts to accelerate for a short.
All right, we're gonna have mixed feelings today. It's lunchtime. All right, what is for lunch? So today's gonna be a situation where
Chicken soup?
Chicken soup for the soul, yeah, that would be nice. And if you guess chicken, then you probably may or may not have a chicken dinner winner on your hand today. But today, so the reason why I say this is a mixed feeling, because it could be done one of two ways, really good or very disappointing. Today's meal for everybody behind us, as I continue to have the salad, and Neil, is grilled jerk chicken. You
What's
know?
wrong with that?
No, but I'm saying this is absolutely nothing. That's why I'm saying it has an opportunity to disappoint because you get so excited because it's jerk chicken. And then it also has the opportunity to be really good.
No, it's gonna be great.
Because it's jerk chicken.
It's gonna be great.
The kind of day we're having, I'm gonna think this is gonna be great.
Our caterer is jerk
with
chicken.
rice and peas. So this is gonna be a really good one. We will figure that out, and I feel like it's gonna be a good one as well. So today's meal of the day, jerk chicken.
Spicy
with
food is
Caribbean.
good for the science.
Oh, it says with Caribbean rice and beans, but of course I said rice and peas because
that's what
I'm
you
from
call
Brampton. I'm from the streets of Brampton.
No, everybody knows.
Just so everybody knows. Everybody knows that.
Yeah, everybody knows rice and peas is actually.
It's like when I had this discussion with Brendan on the podcast, you know.
Where's he from?
Where's he from? You would think Brampton, right?
I know.
Yeah, right. But then he was very insulted when I mentioned that because he almost threw up. Honestly, I thought there was going to be, I thought the podcast had to stop.
I know the school you went to.
Basically. And no, he's from Caledon. So he wanted to make perfectly clear that he's from a little small, I guess it's little compared to Brampton, just north of Brampton, kind of like a suburb of Brampton.
It's all the same
But
now.
it was basically fighting words. When I mentioned that he was from Brampton, it was almost
He's
fighting
not
words.
even like making any kind of reaction.
No, because he knows.
You
He's
hear
gonna fight
everything
somebody.
that's being said.
Yeah.
And you're still, I don't care.
He wants
You're
to fight
still
some,
from
see?
there.
He's like, I can't believe they're talking about.
Keep it real.
He's saying, do never
know where you're
associate
from.
me with Brampton, is basically what he said on the podcast. So, okay, we'll go on now. But, all right, it's 10:49. We are getting ready for Money Talks. We'll find out what the dollar's been doing. You know, I haven't actually... So the last couple days when the market's been really moving, the dollar's been almost acting accordingly. Like when the market tanked, the only two names that were up, the only two sectors, and by the way, join me every single day. And today I might have to wrap it because I got to go on a snow-filled adventure into Scarborough. Anyways, was UUP, which is a strong dollar, and oil. And then yesterday, when every single sector was up, the only two that were down were the U.S. dollar and energy. And by the way, Sharif and company, that UNG is, I mean...
It's a bloodbath.
The chart of UNG, is it moving today? I don't know. But that has been...
It moves every day.
No, I know it moves every day, yeah. But it is getting absolutely destroyed. They just reverse split again, didn't they, I feel like? Because I remember this, yeah. So we'll see. Yeah, there it is. So I remember this name at $5. Look what happens when you reverse split their UNG. You know what I mean? 21 back down to 14 again. Yeah, this has been not an easy ride for nat gas traders to the long side. But again, if anything reverse splits and you can get shorts on it, there's just another example right there of the market going the opposite way.
Nat gas futures off the 50 period was such a good, like look at the short off the fail of the 50 period. So it tries to break out, it consolidates under, it stay with the trend. This is the consolidation, this is the day it breaks, then plays back in, you're short somewhere in around here when you confirm the range, and it just continues to go lower and lower and lower. I guess that's what happens when we get a warm winter. Let's go to the desk. Money Talks.
USD DXY continuing to give up some of the gains we made on that higher than expected CPI print on Tuesday. So we had that big move up there, second day in the row to the downside. We did get some economic data today, for sure. We got US retail sales month over month, a little bit lower than expected here, negative 0.8 versus the expectation of negative 0.2%. USA initial jobless claims also a bit lower than expected here. So 212,000 versus 219,000 expected, just to contextualize some of what's going on with the UXD right now. We do have some Fed speak coming up later today. Fed's Waller speaking at 1:15. Then tomorrow we get both Daily and Barr to end off the week. Also coming tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. The January PPI print. Stay tuned for all of that, guys.
Fed
Should be some
speakers.
good economic numbers.
I don't know if they
coming
can save the
through.
market today.
Yeah, well, I mean, you have to pay attention because we had CPI obviously send the market down 2%, finishing the day at minus 1.7 a couple days ago, and then obviously the full rebound yesterday. And then I'd sort of been talking today that I thought the market would be a little quiet, and I feel like here's the NASDAQ. I mean, we had this. I mean, here's the market opening up right here. We obviously had a nice move down, but we bounced completely off. If you come over to the screen here, yeah, we bounced completely off that 17.8. So let's just look at a 30-minute now of the NASDAQ just real quick, because there's 17.8 again. So that just goes back. It's not too far. It's as early, I guess, first week of February, so basically last week, where 17.8 held, and then that made that move higher. Then on the way back down, we kind of stopped again in and around 17.8. That's 17.850. Then when we took it, we made that move into 17.6 and bounced. And then the last couple days, there's been a lot of action in and around 17.8. So needless to say, I feel like 17.8 is something there. So we could get another bounce action one more time if we do make that move back. So that's why Neil just said something. I don't know what stock, I forget what you mentioned, but I was like, I'm not sure what to do. So for right now, feel
Meta.
like the best, Meta, that's what it was.
Meta.
I feel like right now the best, and maybe we'll look at Meta, but the best thing for me to do right now is kind of just chill because we are waiting for AMD to do something. We talked about putting a bid there. We only have 5% left. We only have less than 5%. I think we have less than 5% on both of them. Amazon's at the bottom there. And then honestly, we're back to VWAP. I would think about reloading this, but we're going to get a little bit higher, maybe into the 50s, and then use this 60 as our out, which it's always been. So I don't have too many ideas right now. Oh, someone just said that's a good one. I'll throw over to Neil in 1 second. I just want to look at Uber because I did have, all right. So my bid on Uber is still at 77. Hold on a second, put that up there. Let me zoom in a little bit more to see. Yeah, it's not doing too much, man, right now. So that's just Uber. I don't know. We're going to have to wait on that, guys.
Meta, so I'm looking at Meta throughout lunch. Obviously Disney off the 112. And if I get VWAP on Micron like yesterday, we'll do the same thing, short VWAP on Micron. But Meta up here, the earnings gap top is this 483 effectively. There's a wick high to 86, but I think 483 will be the first big level that comes in. With the market trying to break back to the upside, you want to respect the strong name if you can. And when that happens, the local dip should have been that 478. It's already happened. There's VWAP. Maybe you get some kind of a higher low, but yeah, you're trending up. If we actually get a break back out and the NASDAQ goes green, I got one name I like. Obviously, if Disney can hang on to this level, and we'll see if we can maybe find Meta on some kind of a dip. Maybe it's VWAP. You can never really guarantee if it pulls back where it's going to turn, but VWAP's as good a place as any to have.
Oh, AMD is going back down.
AMD.
The market did fade off VWAP, by the way. We did not take the cues there.
78 AMD was.
We should have taken the cues. We should have just trusted the process. Shout out to Joel Embiid, who's out, I think, now for the season, maybe, or he had.
Not the season. Oh, it sucks.
No, I don't think it's the season, but he's definitely out for a minute here.
That ruins the East.
Yeah. Oh man, that's too bad. Look at this. Anyways, the TQ is now fading back in. I have a new position. That's what I was going to talk about.
What the heck?
MSOS. Let's go, man. This market. Let's go. All right. So I just saw a note here from. Here it is right here. Shout out to Benzinga. We're now 7 cents in the money. I think we should probably take something out now. That's a big move. So I just saw right here on marijuana. Natalie, that's the political reporter. Republican Blaine, I have no idea, told me Wednesday that negotiations over Section 110 of the Safe Banking Bill are down to the last minutes here, last words. So that's the marijuana Safe Banking Bill there. So if that's getting close to being approved, then yeah, we'll go long on MSOS.
What the heck just happened on SMCI? It just had a $25 candle.
Yeah, the market is cracking, man. I mean, I don't know when SMCI is going to go down, but we definitely know it's going
just
down.
did.
We are hella short. That's what I was like, what the hell happened to AMD?
No, this is what happened to AMD. This
well,
caused the chips to turn. Was this move
I might just get out right now.
on I don't even know what.
You know what? Let's just.
If SMCI goes back up anywhere near the same level and rolls over, I'm reloading Micron wherever it lies, and I'm getting short AMD wherever it lies. Like, that's a wild move. It gets back, if it bounces VWAP and starts to make a lower high, I think you just gotta jump in and short. I liked 178 for other reasons on AMD, but now you gotta like it even more after that hammer candle. I don't know whatever death candle, whatever you want to call it there. That was absolutely nasty for SMCI. Worth watching. And then NVIDIA, because let's be real, these are the two. NVIDIA was right at 735, pre-market lows, right at 735. So it could have just been a bunch of chip names all hit resistance at the same point, maybe? So AMD was 178, this was at 735. But if we get back up there and make a rollover, I want to short one of these off SMCI. The SMCI be those futures for you.
Yeah. I can't. So we are. This is a $3 winner. Obviously, we've had this the whole morning. This is a sticky note trade. So there it goes. So there goes. I mean, we thought this was going to happen. That's why. I mean, I don't have any longs on here today. We only have the long only was Uber, and it just didn't come in. It's not there yet. And the Uber long that we wanted was much lower, 77. Like, Uber's actually holding out today. So we probably won't get in that. I just canceled it, actually. All right, we just got a 24 there. Sorry, we got a 20. We got 24. Then I punched some 20s. We're only at a 30%, 22s. I just want this thing to halt. Like, I would like to see some confirmation. I guess that's just a rumor. It's just the reporter from Politico reporting that the safe banking bill is on its last few words, meaning that they're looking to, I guess, finalize it. So we'll go long a little bit. Again, this is not the kind of trading that I prefer to do. It's this is a news-based trade. We had it. Remember, we had it yesterday in Okta where we took the profit. We got 30 or 40 cents. We took it off the pump, and then it just dropped right back in again. So, like, the same thing. This almost looks identical to that Okta trade at this point. So if this breaks $9, I'm just going to get out. That pre-market high, I'm just going to trade it the same, well, not the pre-market high, but the high before this news came out was right here, $9. If we'll break back down below it, then we'll get out at $9. So I feel like it's fine. This is not, I'll tell you when we have a lot of shares on and in ideas that I really feel are the #1 ideas that I'm going to have. We talked about that with Amazon. I was literally screaming at this trade. This is the trade. I said, I'm rolling with this one. This is the biggest trade I have. So I'll be honest with you the same way around. This MSOS trade, initially I had about 15% of the shares that I had on the Amazon trade. So we'll wait to see what happens right now. If it does fall back below $9, we'll get out. But shot in the dark.
Yeah, well, I'm seeing some stuff in the chat that's interesting here. One of them was a question, could we imagine a short squeeze on SMCI? That's an interesting question because isn't that what it's been doing? Like, isn't that what already happened? Like, what I can imagine would be it unwinding off of this, and maybe we just saw the first inkling of that with this move back into VWAP. Like, I'm staring over at NVIDIA and AMD because if this can't press, like if it makes a lower high and starts fading again, I think I'm not going to get a good price to reload Micron because Micron's at the low of the day. But I might be able to get a chance off the 735 on NVIDIA or the 178 on AMD. The only longs I've had, Intel breaking 45 and Disney off the 112 level. So we wanted this breaking out yesterday. I zoomed out too far. Let me just go to the 15 minute. It's way better. We wanted this breaking out on Disney. It didn't do it yesterday. It did it this morning and missed it, so bought the dip off the 112 level. So I like that one. But I'm keeping my eyes on SMCI. If it shows more weakness, this market should really, at least the chip should really bleed if this can't hold on to VWAP. I think it gets pretty nasty if SMCI goes down. It was up another 10% today at one point. Oh, shoot, it's already 11 o'clock.
Yeah, it's already 11 o'clock. Look, guys, I mean, what a successful day it was today. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. You're about to go over and learn all about, today it's position sizing?
Risk management and trade sizing.
risk management, position sizing, trade
Big topic,
sizing.
big topic.
Big topic, and it was the reason why I had my biggest trade today. So I feel like this is a very, very appropriate time to get ready to talk about that. So there it is, man. It's education. Thank you so much for watching. It's Adair, it's Sharif. Me and this guy are back at 2. So we will see you then, and let's hope this marijuana act or whatever this is finally passes or whatever. So that's all that I'm trading right now.
Stay
we'll
on
see everybody
the
soon.
weed.
Stay on or off the weed. See you.
Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Yeah, that's a bad thing to say.
What is up, beautiful people? Welcome to How to Trade, formerly known as the Midday Show. That right there is your girl Adara, and I am Sharif. And we got a great topic for you guys today. We got risk management and trade sizing within the context